All right, we are here watching the end of this Ohio State-Illinois game, the coronation of the Illinois Fighting Illini. They wanted it more than we did, I'll say that. Not this game, I'm saying like the title in general. This is important to them. They did not win the Big Ten, as we know. They were very upset about this. So whatever, I don't care. If you're coming to me, folks, if you turn this on, waiting for me to care, you're like, I want to see Titus care. I never cared. I cared. I cared, Tate.
You cared. You left at one point. You left me here.
Yeah.
I'm watching the game. Ohio State is fighting back, but I mean, just getting this game into overtime, I think was a good day for Ohio State. Right? They did not have a good first half. Did not have a good start to the game. So.
I'll say this: I knew we were tied when Io took the shot at the end of regulation, and still when he missed it, I thought we won.
Yeah. Oh, so you bought into that?
He missed the shot, and I was like, oh, that's cool, we win.
Yep.
And then. That's not how it works. Then we had overtime, and I was like, I think that's our team operated too.
I think at the time you wanted to stop the count. Then you're like, stop the count. It's
Illinois
over.
just locked up defensively down the stretch. I think Coburn's closeout on E.J. Liddell when he put two hands on his hips. That was.
I like Liddell going downhill there. He's been taking the three all game. It's been short, but like you said, did not bring the ball with him.
Dwayne Washington's hitting everything, so I would assume he said, I'm going to get a hand in his face, literally put a hand in his face as he's trying to shoot. And it's great. I think that proved to be the difference. Illinois is good. Illinois deserves to win the title. But here's a fun stat that I think you'll find interesting. Tate, no Big Ten team has won the Big Ten tournament and then also won the national title since 2000. So all those teams since 2000 from the Big Ten that have won the national title, you know all of them.
Yes.
You know the long list of teams. All of them lost.
Zero. But we should point out, 2005, the last time Illinois won the Big Ten tournament, they got to the title game. They were, most people thought they were going to win that title game. They had the three-headed monster. And you look at this Illinois team, I mean, Coffee Coburn is quite possibly the best big in the country. Io DeSunmu is, maybe the best player in the country. And you look at the pieces that they have. A guy like DeMonte Williams that comes off the bench, has 11 points, hits some big threes, similar to a guy like Roger Powell we saw in 05. So this Illinois team is good.
Yeah, I'm happy for
They're
Illinois.
A title contender,
Illinois,
for sure.
I am a believer that Illinois was better than North Carolina in 2005. So I have been. I'm fine with the idea of Illinois going on to win the national title. I have no qualms about what Illinois is doing, even winning this game today. To be quite honest, I didn't think Ohio State was going to win today.
You said this in our last show that you thought, basically Illinois needed to win something this year.
They have to win
something. So this is at least something. This is the Big Ten tournament. This is a huge moment for Io, huge moment for Brad Underwood, huge moment for Illinois.
The only reason I'm a little bummed out is that one of my buddies went to Illinois, and he texted me a month ago and was like, "We are so overrated. It's ridiculous. I hate this team." On and on, as they were going to overtime against Nebraska.
Yep.
And then they needed a big shot from Io to beat Northwestern at home. He's like, "We suck, dude. I'm out." He opted out. Could you believe that? He opted out on his own.
I can't believe that someone would do that.
And then I'm frustrated.
Aren't you glad that you opted out? Speaking of, now that you watch this game, you're like, "This is good." Does the ACC work that way?
Does the ACC work that way? Where like the Big Ten, where like if you grow up in Big Ten country, you have friends that went to every single Big Ten school.
Yes.
It's annoying as hell, dude.
I mean, I guess I should say, I don't know many people, the new schools that they brought in, maybe a Boston College. Well, Boston College might be one that you lose out on, but
if Ohio State loses a conference game, I'm getting a text from somebody I know. Because it's like someone I know is a fan of the team that beat us.
I heard from Georgia Tech people yesterday. They win the ACC tournament. I didn't even know I had that many Georgia Tech fans, so...
All right, well, congrats to Illinois. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let the cameras roll, keep the microphone on. We are gonna watch the selection show together. We don't want to do a show per se with you guys. We're doing like a watch along right now because are they putting the walk-ons in for 3 seconds? Or the walk-ons?
I gotta get a Frazier jersey.
The walk-ons just took off their that's a pro move. You take your shooter shit off to make it look like you played. Yeah. We are going to do a full Selection Sunday reaction show after the brackets reveal, but we understand everybody watching us right now, Tate, what they really want to see is the brackets. So this is more of a
we're just here. We're with you. We're watching along.
We're all watching together.
Got some free basketball. There you go. DeMonte Williams again. Roger Powell vibes. I'm getting it. But Shaughnessy Villiers, James Augustine. Coffee Coburn is just different. So, you can't really compare him to anyone on the 05 team, but I see the path. I see the path for the Illini. Jim Nantz right there with me. They're loaded. Something to watch.
I mean,
good shot, CJ. That's what you like to see. That's for the cover.
That was a spread shot. That was a cover shot. Yeah.
There you go. Good teams cover.
This is extremely Big Ten though. That like this is the pinnacle.
Yeah. I do feel really good about the idea of Illinois running back the 05
Illinois is not winning. They're not winning the national title.
Graham Plunkett, Titus, you good? You seem good. I will say you seem good.
I'm fine. I'm not mad. Here's the joy of Selection Sunday, of the Big Ten championship happening on Selection Sunday. The game's over. I've already shifted into March Madness mode. I don't have time to dwell. I'm going to be upset when we draw like a 3 seed. I'll be upset about that. Or like we're a 7 and Georgia Tech gets like, or we get a 2. Georgia Tech gets like a 10.
Yeah.
And and then we're gonna have to play Georgia Tech in the second round.
If Georgia Tech is a 10 seed, I'm gonna riot. Live on the set, I will say that. They should be a 7 seed.
I'm not mad now. I'm mad when Ohio State's a 2. And
are you kidding me? The ACC tournament champions and with the ACC Player of the Year and the ACC Defensive Player of the Year and should have been the ACC Coach of the Year as a 10 seed?
No, we're talking Big Ten right now.
What?
Shut up.
What?
When it's 10 seed Georgia Tech, 7
what has the
seed,
Big Ten done?
7 seed UConn, and then 2 seed Ohio State. That's when I'll be mad.
I mean, that's something to worry about. Right now, Lenardi has it. Carolina is the 10 seed. Ohio State is the 2 seed.
That would be awesome.
So there's a chance.
That would be so good.
That would be good. That's what we want.
Oh, that would be so good.
Could you imagine Holtman having to play Roy Williams in the second round? That would not be good. After skipping the game this year, they changed the game. Supposed to play in
after
December.
Roy dodged us?
No, you guys dodged us.
Why did we? We're the best team in that event.
Dodged. You're the Dodger. Better to lose now, Mark. That's a great point, Christian.
It is better to lose now. That's what I said. Like, you know what? Look at Illinois celebrating like they won. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to the locker room. Coach Holt's gonna say we're gonna use this as an opportunity to get better. We're gonna study the tape and we're gonna get better. And can you imagine peaking in mid-March instead of April? Idiots. Everyone, you're all idiots.
You gotta wait. We
are not gonna play our best basketball until April 5th. That's the plan. Now, are we gonna get there? I don't know. We might be playing an open gym in Columbus. But we're going to be playing our best basketball April 5th.
This is so good. This is like a national holiday as we get ready for this.
Yeah, what is your overall vibe? Just your feelings of joy? It does feel like Christmas a little bit. It feels...
Yeah, it is. It is a special day. It also marks like a move toward the spring. You know what I mean? Like this
daylight savings, dude.
Yeah. This is just one of the times. During the first part of the year, everyone I think has a little bit of a depressive state as we kind of work through the gloom and the doom of the day. But now we're here. We got March Madness. We got the Masters on the other side of this. You know what I mean?
We got
spring.
It's
Jim Nantz season. Let's go. So I feel good. I'm excited. It feels a lot longer than 2 years, though. It's been a long time. Here we go.
Dude, I kind of forget, I just forget.
I love the pageantry.
I forget everything.
Yeah. Oh, why do they have to show Chris Jenkins? Kyle Guy. Love to see it.
OSU's chances went to 0 the second Harry picked. Yeah, dude. Harry picked Ohio State to win the Big Ten title. That's what doomed us. Harry Gagnon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm just reading it. Ugh. Sorry, Harry. Love you.
We covered, though. That's good.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yes, Clark. He just jinxed it. Yeah. Oh, my God, Seth. What? I'm knocking on wood. I think they should have changed that for this year.
What do you call, make your prediction? Carolina, what is their seed?
8 seed.
In
8 seed in Michigan's region, yeah. Number 1 overall seed.
Dude, it's still Gonzaga versus the
You
field.
may zig, but they zag. Let's go. Trying to make history in Indianapolis. This is my favorite. Late reaction shots. There we go, Corey.
That's how you know you're good. Like the good teams go like that.
They just stand up and clap and then sit back down.
All right, can we leave now, coach?
Yeah, we're good. We showed up.
Someone should go back and track that. How good are the teams that like lose their mind?
Ooh, App State is a bad matchup in the first round, folks. That is, wow. I feel like Seth Davis right now. Like I'm like I already see the path.
Oh yeah, Tate, we're putting all of our bracket up here. We got it. We got the whole.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
if you're at home, you're watching the board behind us. It's updating live. Gonzaga's up there.
Norfolk.
Wow.
Appalachian State.
That is a tough. That's a tough draw for the first round for the Zags. An 8 seed for the Sooners. A team at one time almost a tier 1 team in college basketball.
They beat as Greg just said, they beat 4 top 10 teams in a row. Oh my God.
I'm telling you, they're trying to make sure this is a Big Ten year, guys. Are you kidding me? Missouri, another team that was up there.
I don't believe in Missouri. Oklahoma's going to smoke them.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take Oklahoma in that game.
Creighton is 5-12 upset special. That stinker they laid against Georgetown.
Yeah, that said a lot. That's why I think Creighton's a 4 seed if they don't have that game.
Oh.
Wow. I love this. Oh, my gosh. Ja'Cory McLaughlin, Kemba candidate, UC Santa Barbara. That's someone to watch out for. Zagorowski versus McLaughlin. Yeah. That's a great first-round matchup.
That is a big-time make shots game. I'm calling it now.
Yes.
That's a make shots game.
Miles Norris, another guy on UC Santa Barbara.
This is good for Virginia.
Put your 4s up. Man. Virginia Gonzaga Sweet 16.
Oh my God, Gonzaga won by 30 the first time they played.
Dude, I'm just saying that's a bad draw to already play a team and then see even the Sweet 16. That's a bad matchup. Oh my God, that's a bad matchup.
That's upset special. Let's go, Jeff Bulls.
Kyle Guy, don't watch this. Don't watch this, Kyle.
Let's go, Jeff Bulls.
That's Preston.
I love you, Virginia fans, but I love Jeff Bulls more.
Wow, USC here. Evan Mobley, one of the best freshmen in the country here, 6 seed.
Oh,
wow, Drake's in.
That is also upset.
Drake's in.
Whoever, USC, great season, be gone with you. Wichita State, Drake, whoever wins that.
I think USC beats Drake, but they don't beat Wichita State. But that's a good first round
I don't think Drake
game.
beats Wichita State.
Yeah.
I think Wichita State.
Drake should be happy to be in, right?
They are happy to be in. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like this is an undefeated team at one point, but wow, Kansas. That's another that could be another fun game. There we go. Pac-12 update. The Ducks are in. Regular season champs in the Pac-12. Greg Gumbel right next to me. Woo! That's good. VCU lost St. Bonaventure today in the title game, so good to see them in as a 10 seed. Might not be good for Syracuse. Wow.
Oh wait, we're not. Ohio State's not in Gonzaga's. Let's go.
Wow, Iowa team that was trying to make the Final Four.
You're saying they rigged it against Gonzaga. Gonzaga gets Iowa, Kansas, and Virginia. They've already beat all 3 of these teams, dude.
That's not good. That's not good.
It is
what do you
Gonzaga.
mean? What? No.
They smoked them.
You don't want to play someone you've already beat. They're just ugh. I wanted Iowa to make a Final Four run, but there's no way in this region, right?
No, there's no way. Gonzaga.
This is unfortunate. I don't like this. I don't like how this played out.
What do we
Gonzaga fans, I'm with you. I'm on your side. I'm sorry. I think you'll be okay, though.
So that's the big tell so far is Iowa is the last 2 seed.
Yes.
Which seems fair, I guess, because Alabama certainly wasn't going to be it. Houston won today, so do we assume Houston is...
There's like producer Kyle, but not our old producer Kyle.
Do we assume Houston jumped Iowa, obviously? Houston's going to be a 2.
Yeah,
they're not going to be 3.
So
Alabama will be the top 2,
Yep.
I'm assuming.
Yep.
Wow, so Iowa draws a short straw. They get Gonzaga's...
That's really unfortunate for Iowa. I thought Iowa had a real shot to go to that. I mean, this changes a little bit of my Big Ten 3 teams in the Final Four because I thought Iowa would be one of those teams. There's probably not a chance if they have Gonzaga in their region.
So Ohio State's going to be in Baylor's region, which I feel okay about.
Man, I'm shook.
I'm trying to think. Oregon, Gottlieb wanted Oregon to be like a 4 seed. He was pushing hard. He thought Oregon was a
This is the Chris Duarte first-team All-American bandwagon that John Rothstein's on. And there's a lot of people that really like Oregon. I think Oregon's a solid team, but I think a 7 seed's probably right. Look at this. It's Steven Tyler. I'm assuming it's from Aerosmith is saying this. They do deserve this. 7 seed.
What is Georgia Tech supposed to get, like a 10, right?
Yeah, that's what they're projected as. They have to be a 7 seed. They just won the ACC tournament. That would be ridiculous.
They got to be better than that.
Woo! Man, I'm already overheated after the first region. Man.
Dude, I forgot that they rip it off. Remember, like, they rip all the teams off right away. Remember the for a while they would do like the top.
They used to like
they do the top 1 seeds and then like an interview with the head coach of each 1 seed.
Exactly, and then they would fill it in over time, and you would never know as an 11 seed what it would be.
Yeah.
Which I kind of liked because you had to kind of string out and stay for the whole time.
Remember people have thrown out the idea of doing it alphabetically.
Could you imagine? I mean, this is true. Drake is probably the biggest story getting in as far as we're talking about the bubble stuff. Drake.
Yeah, is Hemphill supposed to come back? Tank Hemphill for Drake? I hadn't heard. I think they're counting on him coming back.
Yeah,
maybe, but like Drake, their best player gets hurt.
Yeah.
Their point guard got hurt. Drake. I was scared they were gonna get the injury bump. Which honestly, dude, here's my I don't think this is gonna actually happen, but if it did, I wouldn't be shocked. Is Alabama replaces Michigan because of livers, right? Doesn't it feel like I don't think they're gonna do that. Michigan was a lock to be a 1 seed, but Alabama, you know, if Michigan doesn't have livers, what's the difference between that and Cincinnati in 2000 when Cincinnati dominated everybody and then they lose Kenyon Martin? They're like, all right, well, never mind, you get a 2 seed.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, Alabama, number 2 team now, KenPom defensively, so they're a scary team. Here we go, Baylor.
This is Ohio.
Scott.
There we go.
Oh, there it is.
Not so fast, Clark.
Shout out to Hartford. Connecticut, you know, that's great basketball state, underrated. Not going to be Baylor. Oh, let's go!
Carolina, Ohio State for the Final Four.
Let's go. My parents, good friends with Scott Drew, met him one time on vacation, and now, oh my God, Wisconsin, let's go. The Big Cat Special.
Let's go.
Get him out of here. This is ACC Big Ten basketball. Let's go. Are you kidding me?
The 9th best team in the, oh my God.
This is payback for 2015 for North Carolina.
Villanova.
Dude, this is what we like to see.
Villanova's not going to make it. That's 12-5. I'm picking all 12s.
Yeah,
it's been 2 years since I've picked 12s over 5s. I'm ready to do it. I'm overcompensated. I'm doing 12s.
At one point, you and I were like, Winthrop's a legit
they're like
top
a shot
25
away.
team.
They're a shot away from being undefeated.
Yeah. Wow. This is a bad.
Purdue's
this is a bad draw for Baylor. Are you kidding me for Baylor?
Yeah. I know.
Like you got no shot.
Oh.
I love Purdue, and I also love North Texas, so that's a bad matchup.
Purdue to the Sweet 16.
Mac McClung, let's go. Who are they playing? I would love Syracuse here, I think.
That would be. I'm not watching that game. That's an ugly game.
For our producer, for Louise, let's put Q's in. Oh, Utah State. Love Utah State, too.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Respect for the Mountain West. Pac-12 update, Utah State.
Yeah. I mean, you beat San Diego State
There
twice.
we go. There we go.
Must bus. Dude, this is a tough.
I like this. I like this draw for the we're supposed to have the Must Bus on. Musselman's coming on, right? A little later. Yeah.
Our first guest as we do our real show.
He's wearing shorts. I love it.
Wow.
Oh.
Colgate only played 15 games. Yeah, they may score like 100 points each in that game.
That'll be fun. Also, Arkansas is going to win by 1,000. Colgate's played 4 teams out here.
Yeah. Florida, very interesting team.
Florida is interesting.
could quote unquote beat anybody, but also lose to anybody.
Kemba candidate, Trey Mann.
Yep.
I like the 7 seed for a Kemba candidate as well.
Wait, should we call him a Chioza candidate for Florida?
What happened to Virginia Tech, dude?
Man, as a 10 seed, that's
a month ago
ridiculous.
They were a 3 seed. Probably.
Yeah. That's a pretty bad draw for
there
Virginia
we go.
Tech.
We knew it.
Oh my goodness.
There we
Dude,
go.
We're in the same region. Let's go.
I like Florida. I like it. I like this matchup. I like this. I like playing Virginia Tech or Florida.
Well, Florida has the history
who's the
from
15?
your own title game in 2007.
Should I be worried about the 15?
I do like the Eagles. I do like the Eagles.
No.
But it's okay. It's okay.
Be gone.
Honestly, you need to watch out for Virginia Tech in the second round.
I'm not worried about Virginia Tech or
matchup.
Florida. Who else is in there? I forget the rest.
Villanova at a 5 is an interesting team there. Obviously.
Villanova.
Purdue as a 4 seed is interesting. North Carolina as an 8 seed. Wisconsin as a 9 seed.
None of these are interesting except Villanova sucks.
Yeah.
They're done. Their season's done.
Winthrop is the upset.
Winthrop's going to beat Villanova.
The upset.
That's the upset. Then Purdue is going to
beat Winthrop.
Probably beat Winthrop.
Yeah. That's
I think I like Carolina against Baylor, but I don't like Carolina against Wisconsin.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's one of those deals where if Carolina beats Wisconsin, I think I might like the idea of them upsetting Baylor.
Yes.
But Wisconsin's going to win, and then Baylor's going to beat Wisconsin by 40.
Exactly. I can see Wisconsin making Carolina look ridiculous in this game. You know what I mean? Where like Carolina can't even bring the ball up the floor, can't even throw an entry pass, and Wisconsin wins like 65 to 51. Yeah.
We get like the graphic that's like no field goals for last.
Yes, last 8 minutes.
8.5 minutes for Carolina.
And it's like going up, like the clock is going up as they're trying to run offense.
What Buzzcut Brad, I tell you that he wins the game, but he does not make a basket. But he has a game-winning play. We've seen him have game-winning charges.
Yes.
We've seen him against Penn State in the Big Ten tournament. He had a game-winning timeout.
Yep.
What else is there for him to accomplish? A
game-winning technical foul that he draws on someone else. You know what I mean? He gets him fired up enough where like Armando Bacot gets teed up.
Game-winning, he gets Armando Bacot to throw a punch at him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it's game over. North Carolina's out. You know what I mean? Like they just kind of disperse the game.
I could see him. My dad used to teach me this when I was in junior high. The move where like you grab the other guy's jersey and you grab both yourself and the other guy's jersey and you fall down.
You keep it together.
And then you fall down and then you throw your arms up like that. One of those. Not quite a charge, but like.
Brett, I mean, Wisconsin is what Duke used to be, right? As far as like what they're going to do in this game. You know, they're going to take charges.
What about a game winning, the ball's bouncing out of bounds and he dives on the floor and just slaps it and somehow like that wins the game for him?
Yeah.
That's
or like a tip out. You know what I mean? Like Carolina's trying to get a rebound, like they're down 1 point and Brad Davison tips it all the way back and it's just too much time. They can't go track the ball down. Game over.
Just a tip out.
It's a tip out.
It's not a tip out.
It's a game-winning tip.
The
literally.
ball just keeps bouncing.
Yes, it just keeps rolling in times like 5, 4. Everyone watches it roll out. Oh, man. I actually hate that matchup. We got to have Big Cat on the show, though, I feel like. I mean, this is North Carolina.
I think so.
2015, they met in the Sweet 16 in L.A., Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker, that team played Marcus Page and all those guys. Bryce Johnson. Before
I remember that. Yeah, I was at the game, I think.
Yeah, Sweet 16, 2015.
That's right. Because Xavier played, was it Arizona? Right?
I think so. Yeah. I would have to.
Sean Miller special?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, that was a great regional. Wisconsin goes on obviously to the title game.
Yeah, it would have been because then Arizona played Wisconsin and they played twice in a row in Daily Date.
Yep.
I like that. I like Ohio State's draw.
I do too.
I like Ohio
State's
draw. I think that's good.
I mean, if you're Baylor, though, I mean, it's tough.
I feel like we do this every year where you expect the 1 seed to just literally play high school teams. And you're like, what? They have to play a Division I team in the second round? That's not fair.
Here we go. I thought there was a chance. I will say this. I thought there was a chance with Illinois winning the Big Ten tournament that they would jump Baylor today.
I
thought there was a chance, like a little bit of a chance.
The problem is they had the bracket already locked in. That's how Alabama wasn't going to jump Michigan either. They're like, who cares?
They did this, literally Friday night.
They did it at the end of February and just sent it in.
Yeah. Drexel
Dragons.
Love it.
Yeah, you know you're getting your ass kicked. That sucks.
Drexel was the first school to send me a letter, by the way, in my life. Like in 8th grade, you get like these, random letters that are just like, we want you to come to our school. Drexel.
Yeah. Wow, how about that?
Miami and Drexel, my 2 schools. Loyola Chicago, Sister Jean's back.
Oh, the Illinois second round matchup.
Dude, Sister Jean versus Illinois. That's not a good matchup.
That is juicy.
That is
Sister Jean versus
You're playing with some mystic forces there.
We're gonna pick all 8 seeds to upset one.
Yes.
Oh!
Yes. Josh Pastner versus Sister Jean. Are you kidding me?
04 runner-up, 05 runner-up.
Let's go.
Georgia Tech and Illinois.
Yeah.
Second round.
Luke Cincher somewhere.
Yep.
And
Luke
James
Cincher.
Augustine somewhere, both clapping.
Yep.
Like, yes, let's go. Let's go. Here we go. Tennessee, interesting.
I like
team.
to see interesting with the 5 seeds of like
yes.
Villanova. I'm not picking. I like Tennessee.
Yeah.
I'm not picking. I like Oregon State. You're hot. You beat the Pac-12, but you won the Pac-12. I like Tennessee.
That's
still.
interesting.
I think Tennessee's not gonna.
Here we go.
There we
Kate
go.
Cunningham.
Now we're talking.
The 4 seeds can make a run. I mean, as is tradition, but I like Purdue. I like Oklahoma State.
I thought Oklahoma State was gonna get a 3, to be honest.
Whew. They had the right response too, which is
Yeah.
basically like, "Are you kidding me? We're a 4 seed."
They're like, yeah.
Wow, that's okay. Let's blow out Liberty.
Blow out the Flames.
Yeah. That's put
Blow out the
put that headline out.
Yeah, Liberty.
Wow.
Yeah, I knew. I
Here
knew
we go.
Seth was gonna love Liberty. I knew he was gonna love Liberty. They're not losing to Liberty. San Diego State's hot. They were almost on my Pac-12 fraud power rankings late January.
Yep.
I don't think they've lost since.
Yeah, Dutcher's great.
They got
I'm a
swept by
big fan
Utah
of
State.
Brian
I don't
Dutcher.
think they've lost since, right? They lost back-to-back games to Utah State.
Yeah, they lost 2
I'm
to
pretty
Utah
sure they've
State,
won
and
like
I think
14 in a
won-
row.
Exactly.
Oh!
Wow, the Q's is in. Louise, shout out to our producer. She was very
Shout out.
worried about Jim Boeheim's squad, but Buddy Boeheim is here. Let's go.
Dude, this is I'm gonna have to think about that one.
Dude,
that 11-6 game, I'm gonna have
Syracuse
to
is
think
like
about that one.
that's a good draw for them for a Sweet 16 run. This is Jim Boeheim's dream right here. Man,
I can't believe Pastner and Sister Jean are playing each other.
dude, that's so good.
And then the winner gets Illinois.
Yeah, whoever came up with that, like you're a good genius, and we appreciate that.
Oh, there we go.
Huggy Bear. West Virginia's an interesting team as well.
Morehead State. All right. Oh,
Let's go.
They're at IMS. Look at them.
That's awesome. Yeah. Clemson's a good defensive team. They're an interesting team as a 7 seed. Like that.
No, Rutgers.
Oh, God.
Rutgers.
Dude.
Rutgers is winning that.
Can we just say this? I love that the committee decided we're going to figure out who's better, the ACC or the Big Ten. You know what I mean? Like these matchups in the first round,
ACC
like
Big
North
Ten
Carolina,
challenge.
Wisconsin. You know, I mean, we're just going to keep running down the gamut, but I like the idea of this. I like the idea of Ohio State having to deal with Virginia Tech maybe in the second round. This is good. Here we go. Houston. Samson.
Oh.
Nice.
Dennis Gage. Cleveland State was an absolute disaster 2 years ago. It was a job that things got so dire. I swear to God, this is true, Tate. Cleveland State called me not to hire me as a coach, but they were like, "Yo, we're trying to hire someone, and we need some help because this is like it's an absolute disaster. Like no one wants this job. What are we gonna do?
Yep.
I've inherited a terrible situation here. What can we do about it?" And I was like, "That's not what I can't help you guys, but good luck. I hope it works out for you."
I mean, Cleveland State.
Fast forward 2 years, they're in the NCAA tournament.
And Cleveland State is famous, right? Jerry Tarkanian said it. The NCAA is so mad at Kentucky, they're going to give Cleveland State another year of probation. So that is what they're famous for, but not anymore.
Clark
Got
loves
basketball.
Cleveland State. He's a Cleveland guy. So So what do we got so far that's interesting?
We have Cade Cunningham and Io DeSumo in the Sweet 16.
Liberty.
That's a good thing.
I'll say this: Liberty is a team that I believed in until I saw the draw. You know what I mean? Like I thought I was going to be all over Liberty. I was going to hammer Liberty, but then they're not beating Oklahoma State. I don't like Liberty to beat Oklahoma State. That's going to be a good game, though. I think it's going to be a good game, but Oklahoma State is going to win it.
I love Purdue, North Carolina in the Sweet 16.
I'm just so excited to have a bracket.
Yeah.
It's just
The best part
nice.
about a bracket, especially like right now, if you're listening to us and you're getting annoyed because we're just saying this ridiculous things, but It is fun with the bracket. You can make anything possible.
The guy called me out. Every region's tough. It's true. It's
Every region is
Every
tough.
region has a bunch of NCAA tournament teams. That's how our brains have worked. We talk about these teams like, oh my God, how many NCAA tournament teams have you beat? They beat 5 NCAA tournament teams in a row.
I blame the Q1 people. Yeah, the quad one wins.
Man, Gonzaga, Oklahoma, that could be a good game. It's not going to be. Realistically, as it's simmered a little bit, and I have some time to think about it, Gonzaga's going to the Elite Eight pretty easily. They're not going to break a sweat to the Elite Eight. Creighton could maybe make it interesting. But is Creighton going to get past Santa Barbara and Virginia / Ohio? Creighton could match Gonzaga just an offensive explosion, but Oklahoma's not. Missouri's not.
I just don't. Oklahoma, they're going to beat Oklahoma, but Oklahoma's better than an 8 seed in my mind. So that's all I'm saying. That's the whole point.
Yeah, Gonzaga's better than Oklahoma. So.
Oh, Rutgers basketball.
Your family, your religion,
and the Green Bay Packers.
Oregon as a 7 is that is.
I like VCU there.
Oregon, Iowa, second round would be something. Dude, I'm trying to think of where the upsets are gonna. We should say, man, coming into the conference tournaments, I expected. The sports that we've seen in Corona times have been pretty chalky. We've made this point on the podcast before that the Lakers win the title, the Columbus Crew win the MLS Cup, others. The Buccaneers. I guess the Chiefs should have won, but who else won? The Dodgers, the Tampa Bay Lightning were the 1 seed. So I thought there must be something about empty arenas.
We can't let Tate Frazier beat us. Yes, me and the North Carolina Tar Heels are gonna take you down.
I thought there was something to it that empty arenas neutralize the field, make it whoever's the best team, and then the best team is always going to win. But then the conference tournaments kind of threw out the window with Georgetown and Georgia Tech and Oregon State.
You asked about upsets. If I'm Illinois, and the same thing with Baylor, I'm praying that Wisconsin and Loyola win the first game, right? If you're Baylor, you don't want to play North Carolina. If you're Illinois, you don't want to play Georgia Tech.
The one thing that scares me about Illinois,
the ACC tournament champion and the Big Ten tournament champion are going to play in the second round.
Yeah.
That's a bad draw.
I'll hold that thought on Illinois. Michigan got the one.
Yeah.
They deserve the one. They deserve it.
Michigan fans, you deserve the one.
I'm just saying this. If they would have given it to Alabama and you come to me and you're like, Mark, please be mad on Michigan's behalf, I was going to say, I can't do it. But they got the one. They deserve it. Great season. Tough matchup. Yep. Arkansas's already changed they already updated their.
Dude, they're such a meme. It's so good.
You can tell it's been 2 years because we're
every single time I see, I'm like LSU. That's tough.
Damn, that's a tough second round matchup.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, St. Bonaventure's winning that.
I take the Bonnies.
Yeah, the Bonnies winning that. Yeah.
It's actually a good draw for Michigan.
Yeah. The Michigan.
Let the Bonnies get get LSU out of the way, and you'll be fine.
Bonnies beat LSU. Michigan wipes the floor with the Bonnies.
Yep.
Meet me in the Sweet 16.
Wow.
Colorado. Wow. Is Colorado at a 5 and Oregon at a 7? Interesting.
I love that upset. How do you not take
Old
Georgetown?
Big East versus Pac-12?
Yeah, you take the Old Big East every single time.
That is soft versus.
Yeah, that's probably the lock 5-12 game for me.
I love that Colorado inherits the softness of the Pac-12.
I like McKinley Wright a lot, but man, that's the team.
I don't know. I'm out on Florida State.
I like Florida State as a 4 seed. Are you kidding me?
Just
the ACC. Constant, just
all the
getting
Florida
disrespected.
State talk is just what they could be someday, and it's we haven't seen it. They smoked Virginia. That's about it. They suck away from home. Florida State.
Let's see who they play. This could be.
Oh,
never mind. Wes Miller.
I like Greensboro.
I love UNCG.
I like
in this
Greensboro.
Game. Yeah, that is. Bad draw. Hate to see that for the Seminoles.
BYU.
Let's go. Matt Harms. Coach Pope, the young Pope. Look at that reaction from the young Pope. What a guy. Wow.
Whoa.
Dude, talk about a blue blood.
Whoa.
That's a point for the Blue Bloods. Michigan State, UCLA.
That's a playing game.
Yeah. So Tom
that has my attention.
Yeah. Tom Izzo keeps the streak alive. That's good.
Michigan State's beating all 3 number 1 seeds in this tournament? How is that possible? They beat Baylor? They beat Gonzaga? What are you talking about, Seth?
Texas is a team to watch. Here we go.
There it is.
That
great makes sense.
Seed
that looks
UConn.
good. Seeing a 7 next to UConn just feels right.
That's perfect.
That feels right.
If you want the Huskies to make a run, my God! What did we say before? The only team that can stop the Magic is Maryland. Maryland stops the Magic everywhere. They killed the Barn this year. Man,
Alabama.
Man, there you go,
dude.
Bama.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Wow, this is good.
Stay tuned, by the way. We're going to break down the whole bracket. We're not just going to sit here and...
Oh, my God. Nate Oates versus Rick Pitino, first round. Yes.
Dude, this is so good.
Thank you, Condoleezza Rice, whoever put this bracket together. You did a great job. We're fired up.
9 teams from the Big Ten.
Nice. Again, Coach K wanted to be the 8th team for the ACC. Duke was waiting in the wings for this, but they will miss the tournament.
Is Duke on standby, though? Are they one of the 4 standby?
That's true. We're going to find that out, right? They're going to tell us this. I think they're going to tell us the standby teams.
First 4 out. There you go. Teams on standby right there. Louisville.
Louisville. Wow.
I got to say, that's got to be the most painful thing in the world, to be a Louisville fan and see that and say...
Well, you have to pull for something bad.
Does that mean they're not? Does that mean they're not? They're not in the NIT either. They just like.
I don't think you can accept an invitation if you're on standby. I would assume, but I don't know how that works.
Here's the problem with this. Like, I'm bored already. Like, every time I always say, like, how does it work? And then someone starts explaining to me, and I get bored and I don't listen.
Tune out. Yeah, exactly.
And then Drake was the last team in. Louisville, first one out. Wow.
I'll be honest. I think Louisville should have gotten in over Drake. I mean, that seems pretty obvious. I wish Ole Miss could have made it too. I love Devontae Shuler.
All these teams kind of suck, honestly. If you're not better than. All you had to do is beat the 10 seed in your conference tournament and you're in. They didn't do it. I mean, like, come on. It's ridiculous.
Can't lose to Duke.
Right. Dude.
Dude, let's win this Nissan Rogue. Let's go.
Greensboro, Florida State has my attention.
Yeah, that's the best. That's probably the best first round upset game.
I think anyone seeded like 4 through 7, I'm picking you to lose the first round.
I mean,
I don't know, man.
Nate Oates going up against Rick Pitino is like, is he gonna have to kiss the ring? Because I think he has to. I mean,
I was gonna say this. I was gonna say this about Illinois. Illinois. The one thing that worries me is Illinois is the type of team that goes on a 7-0 run, and then the other team calls timeout, and they think they've won the game.
Yeah,
and
no, they celebrate like they won the game.
And they go to the timeout huddle. I mean, that's kind of what happened. I mean, that's kind of what happened today against Ohio State. Ohio State just kept chipping away.
They should have been
back.
up 25 points in the first half. Ohio State.
They don't know how to
step
on throats.
1 for 14. Yeah, no, I mean, They should have been up 20 in that game. They felt like they were up 20, but the most they got up was 15, something like that. So, yeah, that is the only concern. But I will say Illinois, they play like they're going to win every game, right? Like as far as the confidence, like the way they carry themselves.
My
team.
fear is like in the second round.
Georgia Tech is playing them.
It doesn't matter who they're but or like Georgia Tech, Loyola. Curbelo hits a shot to go up 7 with like 8 minutes left.
Yeah, he starts cooking.
And then he starts cooking, and he goes shh to the crowd. and then they just gotta like stop
Moses
playing.
right now, Verano just start running pick and roll and go crazy and go off, and they win the game. Yeah.
I think that's the recipe for Illinois losing. I still think they'll be all right, but
I see Illinois winning that region.
Coburn's the best player on Illinois, by the way. I think I'm ready to say that. I'm not scared to say that anymore. He's the reason they're so good.
Yeah.
Iowa's very good. It's not that Iowa's not good. It's that
the biggest test for Illinois is going to be Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Like, it's not Houston.
Yeah.
Like, right? It's not Houston. West Virginia's, I mean, obviously in there, but I think at the end of the day, playing Cade in the Sweet 16, Io versus Cade.
Yeah, let's do that real quick. One seeds.
Like, what's the one game to watch out for? Yeah.
Tripping them up to the Elite Eight, I guess.
Yeah.
It would be Creighton for Gonzaga, right? Like, because
it's probably Creighton.
They just trade baskets, and it's 112 to 111, and then Mitch Ballack
Zagorowski's like insane. Yeah.
That's Michigan. Michigan's on to the Elite Eight. Congratulations, Michigan. We're not going to get the next 4. All right. Well, should we just start talking about the bracket, dude? Do we need to listen to?
I don't need to listen. Yeah. Should we start the show?
Let's start the show.
All right. Let's do it.
Tate, we got a bracket.
What a day. What a time. What a year. We did it.
It's 2 years in the making. We finally have a bracket.
Yes.
Initial thoughts out of the gate. What stands out to you? What jumps out to you? Big picture thoughts, not necessarily matchups or anything. We're going to break it all down to the best of our ability. But just general vibes. What are we thinking?
General vibes is, the pageantry is back. March Madness is here, and I think it's one of those things where, you and I, last year, we lost something, and we never knew if it was going to come back in any sort of capacity. So to be here, to see this, to have the game set, feels good, Mark. Feels really good.
It feels very good. It feels almost too good that I forgot how this all works.
Yeah, you and I, we are basically responding as this is the first tournament ever. Every matchup, we're like, I see a pass.
I see it.
I see a pass to a loss.
You can talk me into every. I'm looking at Ohio against Virginia, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, we're we're a little rusty there. We're back though.
Preston will be the best player in that game.
Yeah, I see a pass.
Creighton's been a little rocky, maybe,
yeah.
and then once you get to the Sweet 16, anything can happen.
Man,
let's start with the 1 seeds.
Yep.
Let's start with the number 1 seeds. Not a lot of surprise. I think these have been from the moment Justice Suing threw a behind the back pass against Michigan. That seed was locked up for Michigan.
Yep.
And then from the moment Illinois smoked Michigan a couple days later in Ann Arbor, I feel like we've had the number 1 seeds locked up. Not exactly a surprise. I think it kind of got interesting with Isaiah Livers hurting his foot,
yes.
and he's whether he plays or not out indefinitely.
Yep.
Hopefully he can come back, but.
I'm knocking on wood because
it doesn't seem like it's. Alabama certainly made a late case to get a 1 seed, but I don't think it was ever serious. I think it was pretty clear that these were going to be the 1 seeds. No surprises here, right?
Yeah, and I think the Big Ten was by far the best conference, so they deserve at least 2 number 1 seeds. So we knew that coming in. There was a chance, in my mind at least, with Illinois, maybe they jump Baylor, and but that doesn't happen. It's okay. I like where Illinois is. I'm worried about Michigan. Like you said, without Livers, I think that could be something to watch.
We should say, for the most part, the number 1 seeds in terms of who's the best, the order, it doesn't matter as much if you're thinking about it as the 2 seeds that you get, because they're snaking it this year, but they still stay true to the the conference, shake up the conference. It's like Ohio State was never going to be the 2 seed, Michigan or Illinois, which is why Ohio State is in Baylor's.
Yep.
Iowa's and Gonzaga's. So in that regard, it kind of doesn't matter because you knew that Ohio State was going to have to be in either Gonzaga or Baylor's region. Iowa, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kind of that part. The rest of it, as it trickles down, maybe that matters. But
yeah, I got some 1 seed stats for you. 10 of the last 13 champions were 1 seeds, and since 1985, 22 of the 35 champions have been 1 seeds, about 63%. So when you think about the actual champion, it's it's a good chance that one of these 4 teams.
Yeah, it's funny because we go into every tournament, we're like, now anything can happen.
Find
and it's true, but at the same time, of those things, of all the anythings that can happen, the most common thing is the 1 seed. The best team wins.
21 of the last 22, top 3 seeds of the champions.
Speaking of the best team, Gonzaga is the best team in this field.
Yes.
We've been discussing this concept of Gonzaga versus the field the entire
all year.
season.
Yes.
Given that Illinois is now being pushed to the moon as we've seen these last few weeks, ever since, like we said, they beat Michigan in Ann Arbor, and then they win the Big Ten title. They beat Ohio State in an awesome game. Would you still say it's Gonzaga versus the field? Or are you trying to throw Illinois in the mix? Is Baylor? Where do you see the tiers? Give me your 1 seed tiers.
Yes, here it is. Tier 1 is 2 teams, Gonzaga and Illinois. That is the top tier. And I think right now, if you take a snapshot of the moment, you say, what is the best case scenario title game? It is Gonzaga versus Illinois. And I think Illinois represents the best of the Big Ten right now. I think they're the best team in the Big Ten. And I think Timmy versus Coburn, those 2 guys battling it out, on the block. Yeah. I think that's a great matchup. You obviously have Io versus Suggs. I mean, that's a great matchup. These 2 teams, to me, are the best teams. I've been really impressed with Illinois lately. Since the Michigan game, March 2nd, that was the time I kind of saw, okay, Illinois, they've clicked in here. They know who they are. I love Curbelo off the bench. He's like a Shabazz Napier, person for Io. I think Io is going to be my Kemba candidate. We're going to get to that. But I like Illinois, and I like this team. And then Tier 2 is obviously, Michigan, Baylor. And I think even Michigan might be, kind of straddling the line a little bit. We're going to see where they are.
Michigan is, I like Michigan's draw a lot, though.
Michigan in February, Michigan is obviously Tier 1. Yeah. You know what I mean? So.
I do like Michigan's draw, and even losing, I mean, you could say that the first game without Isaiah Livers, they lose to Ohio State, but it's also like Ohio State, and I'm not saying this because I'm wearing a very colorful Ohio State sweatshirt. Ohio State's one of the better teams in the country. There's no shame in losing to Ohio State. Like, Michigan could still be a very, very good team, even if Isaiah Livers can't play.
Yep.
I think most Michigan fans are like, we have no shot at a title. I would even say that's not entirely true.
No.
Your chances are dramatically decreased, but you're still good enough. If you told me this Michigan team ended up winning the title, I wouldn't be shocked by that.
And I also from the Michigan side, I like the idea of Livers, even if he is, I like indefinitely is what I should say. I like the idea that there's a chance we get to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8 and he's feeling a little bit better, we can get him back. So
I still think it's Gonzaga's tournament though. I think
that is the question, that is the answer.
You do not have to beat Gonzaga to win the national title. I want to make that point. You could 2015 Duke did not beat Kentucky. Kentucky was the big Goliath. Duke won the national championship. They did not have to beat Kentucky to do so. But somebody did, and somebody's gonna have to beat Gonzaga. But it doesn't have to be, Illinois is on the other side of the bracket. They don't have to be. They could win the title without beating Gonzaga. They could let Creighton beat Gonzaga. And then, who was the first 1 seed to lose? Bill is asking us.
That's a good question, Bill. First 1 seed to lose. This is gonna be a little bit biased, but I'm gonna take Baylor. I think Baylor is gonna be the first 1 seed to go out of this tournament.
You have Baylor in the second round.
In the second round, yes. To Wisconsin or North Carolina. I don't know which one.
Gonzaga is too good to be challenged. Oklahoma, I think Oklahoma beats Missouri, but
I mean the Bonnies in the second round against Michigan is a tough matchup.
I don't think so. I think Michigan and Gonzaga have great draws. Illinois, Georgia Tech would be interesting.
But
again,
Big Ten tournament champion, ACC tournament champion.
Both of these feel like a deal where the 8 seed, like I look at Georgia Tech and I'm like, Georgia Tech could beat Illinois, but Loyola is probably going to beat Georgia Tech. And it's not going to matter.
The same with North Carolina. I feel like if North Carolina beats Wisconsin, they beat Baylor, but Wisconsin will probably beat North Carolina. A lot of Big Ten apologists out there coming at me right now saying Wisconsin should have been the 8 seed and North Carolina should have been the 9 seed based on strength of schedule. So I wanted to shout that out. We can change that if we need to. It's still the same game.
I'm picking Baylor as the first 1 seed to lose. Their defense just hasn't been the same since they come back. COVID. That's what made them so good. Is they play
and
great
the 3-point shooting.
Yeah,
I mean it has gotten a little bit better. They're getting back to return to the mean, but I see Baylor struggling, and also Baylor. They win their championship, they win the Big 12 regular season, and they did sell. You and we have a problem when you over celebrate when you win regular season titles and hang banners and go a little crazy. So I'm worried about that a little bit too.
Let's talk about the bubble. What transpired here? Syracuse, a team that we did not feel like they're not even.
I was
one of the
about
last
to correct
four
you and say the controlled environment, Mark.
No. Syracuse wasn't even one of the last 4 in.
Nope.
We weren't certain that they were going to make the tournament, and they not only.
But Lenardi was. Lenardi had him locked in, so he we'll give him his shout out because a lot of times people would like to throw shade at him. So he gets Syracuse in, and then you look at Louisville. Louisville's a team that was hurt by COVID. Clark Kellogg mentioned that and said, it sucks for a team like that to have to deal with this situation. But I don't know what standby looks like. That's more of my fascinating part of these 4 teams. What are you doing? Devontae Shuler and Ole Miss, you're just sitting around waiting for the call, and then you have to pull for something bad to happen to get in? I don't know.
Do you feel like these teams that are did the committee get it right? Where did they get wrong? Who's the biggest snub? Look, because I don't really care enough about any of these teams, honestly.
I mean, Colorado State probably, I could see them making, St. Louis, I could see them making the argument. Ole Miss, I'm happy to be here, I feel like, to be on this line, to get the recognition, to have our logo up there. Louisville, the COVID pause, you have something you can point to. You also lost to Duke, so you know why. Drake, I like them getting the bump because they had such a great season. I like the Missouri Valley getting some respect there, so that was nice. Wichita State should have been in. Michigan State should have been in. UCLA, we're biased, so I'm happy to see them in, but that could have been one that could be argued.
UCLA...
That would probably be the one I
fell
look
off a
to.
cliff.
Drake and UCLA, if I'm one of these 4 teams, I'm looking at and saying that could have been us, or that should have been us.
UCLA fell off an absolute cliff down the stretch, and
look, they lose Chris Smith. There were reasons behind it. Mick Cronin did a great job with his team. I think they overexceeded expectations at some level. So to be in the tournament's a win for UCLA.
Yeah, I would agree.
But the fact that those 2 teams play each other, Michigan State, UCLA, in a play-in game, it's insane.
I'll say this: it's taken me a while. I'm readjusting to bracket and fleshing out matchups and all that kind of stuff because it's been 2 years.
It's been a long time.
One thing I'm back in the saddle immediately on is I don't care about the bubble. It's like every year the bubble, they show this stuff, and like Louisville fans are gonna be mad, Colorado State fans are gonna be mad. If you're on the bubble, you suck and you shouldn't be in the tournament. I don't care. I don't care.
And let's be honest.
Figure it out.
Is there any fan base out there that is like held on to the idea that they were the first 4 out?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like we were supposed to be in the tournament.
And I know.
Did you see the graphic?
I know teams have played in the play-in game and gone on to the Final Four.
Yes.
I know his stuff actually matters, but I'm saying if it doesn't matter at the same time. It's like if you're splitting hairs with a bunch of garbage teams at this point, and I don't know. I've never cared about that. I've never. What are you looking at?
I'm just like, I'm observing the bracket, just like kind of thinking about who could have been in if there was any bigger snubs. But I mean, I feel like Louisville's probably the most upset today.
Yeah.
Knowing the Louisville staff and some of those people there. I feel like Chris Mack right now is not very happy, especially after the Calipari back and forth this entire year. They had a little WWE, thing going on with this team. They had some really bad losses, though. I mean, they lost to Wisconsin by 45, lost to North Carolina by 45. Those are 8-9 seeds, so... I mean, that's
all you have to say.
Yeah, I mean, Carlick Jones missed one of those games, so.
And then you go in the ACC tournament, you say all you have to do is beat Duke, and you can't do that. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I can't feel bad.
I like Louisville, but I understand it. It makes sense.
That's how it works.
Yeah,
and that's how it works. Let's talk about some Kemba candidates. This is something we get very excited about every year. Is trying to figure out the guy who are the guys that can just carry their team. We have ours on the board right here.
Yeah, pretty simple.
We locked in our picks. Go ahead, you go first. I would assume it. Your Kemba candidate plays a little hero ball down the stretch in regulation, gets Ohio State, throws up brick after brick. So great pick there, Tate. Explain yourself.
I will say this. I think Illinois in 2005, they were the number one team in the country the entire year. They had these three guards, Luther Head, D. Brown, Darren Williams, that were unbelievable, unstoppable, whatever word you want to use. And the entire year was all, going along, and everyone said, Illinois is a team, Illinois is a team, Illinois is a team. Very similar this year to Gonzaga, right? Everyone's saying Gonzaga's a team, Gonzaga's a team, Gonzaga's a team. Anyways, Illinois wins the 05, Big Ten tournament. They go to the championship game. They lose to North Carolina. They've been trying to get back to that point in time. They've been trying to chase down that title in the 21st century. And I feel like this year, it is the time, right? They are not the team that everyone is looking at. They're saying that's the team to watch out for. That's Gonzaga. So they don't have the target on their back. That's a little bit nice. You know now that you are the best in the best conference this season, so you have a little bit of confidence behind you. And you also have a Shabazz Napier candidate. I think that's why, the Kemba candidate for Io is so good for me and works so well. And you have two of them. You have Frazier and you have Corbello. And those two guys can take, the load from him at times if they need to. But also at the end of the game, last 4 minutes, you give the ball to Io. You let the mass crusader go do what he does and win the game. I know you said he didn't do it today.
Which is shoot step back.
You said today he didn't do it. He took a bad shot, as Paul George would say, a step back. Have you ever shot that shot, is what Patrick Ewing would say. But I think in the tournament, you learn from this game. Io gets in here, becomes the Kemba candidate, and is able to lock in and make it happen. But the main reason he has the Shabazz Napier candidates, Corbello and Frazier.
I feel like you can't. A Kemba candidate can't be everything you said made a ton of sense, but I don't like a Kemba candidate as a 1 seed.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. That is true. Like the real version of a Kemba candidate is probably a 6 seed or more. But, for this purpose, I'm going to give it that.
My guy is Oklahoma State as a 4 seed.
I like a 4 seed.
We got brackets here.
My goodness. Look at the research.
It's not official till I have my paper bracket here. So, Oklahoma State's a 4 seed. So, Cade Cunningham is my pick because, my God, did you watch the Big 12 tournament?
Yeah.
The dude, in the last 6 games, he's averaging, I wrote it down here, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 3.5 assists, shooting 48% from the field, 37% from the 3-point line, 90% from the free throw line. He's been unbelievable. He was the number 1 pick favorite the entire season, and he's gotten even better down the stretch. Oklahoma State's a great team. I really like Oklahoma State, but Cade is the guy. I mean, Oklahoma State has played in 1,000 close games this season. Cade Cunningham has taken 1,000 big shots. He's not going to be fazed by the moment. I wish they would have closed it out, though. I wish they would have beat Texas.
Me too.
I wish they would have done it.
I want to give a shout out because the guy, Dr. Senator, Mr. Walker54 on Twitter tweeted at us that Cade Cunningham is our Carmelo candidate. And I like the idea of that. I like the idea of a freshman coming in, this top flight blue chip guy and taking a team to the title game and eventually winning the title. And if Cade Cunningham does that, I don't know what we would do, but he's definitely the number 1 pick, right? There's no doubt about that if he does do that.
I love Oklahoma State's draw. Liberty is a team Liberty has a great record. They've won a lot of games, obviously. Yep. They've also played some big boys. They have because that is something we should say is different this year. Is a lot of these smaller schools like Colgate's the most obvious example did not play high major games this year because of COVID or whatever else. Liberty's a team that did. Liberty played a bunch of big boys. They didn't win a lot of the games. I think they beat Mississippi State. It was like the one power team they beat. But they have seen an athlete, the caliber of athlete that Oklahoma State's going to throw out there. I think Liberty's a team that, as I said, coming into before I actually saw the bracket, I was like, I could see Liberty winning a game or two in this tournament. But then I saw them play Oklahoma State. So I feel like the game is going to be good. I feel like Liberty can hang because they're not going to be shocked by Oklahoma State's athleticism and size. But Oklahoma State has Cade Cunningham, and they're going to win. And I love the second-round matchup between Oregon State and Tennessee. Whoever wins that, I like Oklahoma State.
I was going to say, Oklahoma State has a pretty clear path, in my opinion, to the Sweet 16. But also, if you haven't watched Oklahoma State and you're at home and you're watching the first-round game and they're down, 8 points to Liberty, don't panic, right? This Oklahoma State team, they love to thrive in the chaos. They love to play close games. They almost play down to their competition at times. But Cade Cunningham in the clutch has always been able to come through, so I like that.
I like him. I'm thinking of other guys. Moses Moody has to get a shout-out at Arkansas. He's been unbelievable. He
was my number 2 Kemba candidate. I was like, I'm a Moses Moody guy, but I also like to keep the scent away from him, a little bit. And I like that Arkansas lost that game. He said he learned a lot of lessons in the loss. You know what I mean? I like that as well. And a guy that played at a high major program in high school knows how to win big games. So Moses Moody, good Kemba candidate. I like that.
Arkansas is a 3 seed though, so we got to find a guy. I mean, Book Knight. Is Book Knight the answer? UConn at 7 seed?
Yeah, I mean, Book Knight
played Maryland and then Alabama.
It's almost too on the nose, but I mean, the idea that Book Knight as a 7 seed would be it.
Who else jumps out to you? I mean,
Ja'Cory McLaughlin as the UC Santa Barbara. I tweeted that last night that I liked him as a potential candidate. But yeah, I mean, going through.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to find like smaller, like Mac McClung, 6 seed.
Mac McClung as a number 6.
Dude, you know a 7 seed. I don't want to say this. I don't want to put this into the ether, but Trey Mann at Florida is a 7 seed.
Yeah, the Chris Chiozza candidate.
Yeah, and then Trey Mann and Dwayne Washington just go mano-a-mano in the second round, just big shot after big shot.
Do you think there's a little bit of redemption for Ohio State after the 07 title game there?
Yeah, well, I mean,
I feel it. I feel it.
I think we're going to get redemption on.
That's Carolina there up top.
The way the bracket fleshed out here
for 2015 Wisconsin.
The way the bracket fleshed out here, Alabama Ohio State could happen in the title game. Basketball. It happened in football. It could be an 07 repeat.
Oh
when
my
we played
God.
Florida in both football and basketball.
So you think you're going to the title game and then you're getting.
I don't know. You invoked 07. Okay. I was just saying that's still on the table. The same thing could happen of Alabama of Ohio State losing to an SEC team in both title games, which I would not love.
Don't let it happen.
All right. So what else we got to talk about? What is the best matchup as we look at this?
Yeah, I'm sort of going through it right now. Can we just do the most expected upset maybe in the first round that you expect, like as we go through it? Because the one upset that I see that I think is almost a guarantee is Winthrop.
Yeah, Winthrop jumps out to me.
And it's not to say anything about Villanova, but Villanova, dealing with some injuries there. They're not the same Villanova team that we saw earlier in the year. Not the Villanova team that went to Texas and beat Texas when they were a top 5 team in December. So I think Winthrop is an option there. And I also think UNCG, as much as I love Florida State, I mean, Isaiah Miller and Wes Miller time, the real Miller time there at UNCG, that is a bad draw for Florida State. And I could see that being a pretty solid upset.
Florida
too.
State Georgetown in the second round would be awesome. Though
Hamilton,
true. Patrick Ewing.
True.
That would just be an all-out war.
That's a lot of John Thompson respect, and I would love to see that.
That would be an all-out war.
Yeah.
Florida State feels like a team that I like. I've made this point about teams throughout the years, and this is my team this year that I'm going to make this point on is Florida State, that I like the idea of Florida State more than I actually like Florida State.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for them to be they've sucked away from home.
They need a point guard.
Yeah.
I don't like the whole – I mean, I like the idea of Scotty Barnes being the point forward and, like, we let him kind of control the game and control the tempo, but I wish that they had C.J. Walker, from Ohio State. I wish he was, like, still at Florida State, or, like – but it's one of those things where it can be a little bit ridiculous. But, I like the 12-13 there. I like UNCG playing Georgetown in the second round. That's a good upset.
Anthony's asking the winner of Sister Jean versus Josh Pastner get a show called The Best Guy. Like, you get elevated. It's like sainthood. It's like Josh Pastner has been so nice.
Can you imagine having something called Best Guy and it's about Sister Jean? That's when she really turns on us. She already doesn't like us because we called her sister mean, but I think that's the final straw. You know what I mean? That's when it's over. But I like that. I like that first round matchup in general. Yeah,
all of the Ohio Virginia has my attention.
You love Jeff Bowles.
I love Jeff Bowles. They're gonna have the best player on the team, on the court, Jason Prez. He's gonna be better than Jay Huff. Sorry to say it, but he's gonna have more of an impact than Jay Huff is in that game.
Is he better than Sam Hauser?
Yeah, he's better than all of them. He's better than all of them. He's going to be the best player.
Hauser guy.
I know. He's going to be the best player on the floor. Virginia, Dude, I like Gonzaga's draw. I know you don't, but
I was more. I think Oklahoma just shocked me as an 8 seed. I feel like that's what really got me. But
as you look at the rest
as I look
of the
at it
seeds,
more, I mean, even Creighton's not as scary as you may think. Kansas is not. Kansas obviously had to get out of the Big 12 tournament. There were some questions about them being able to qualify at one point, so they're not as intimidating as a 3 seed as maybe they would have been.
Yeah.
Considering those things. So, I mean, Iowa's the real test, right, for Gonzaga, but.
I don't think Iowa's going to make it.
Yeah.
I don't think Iowa's going to make it to the Elite Eight, but maybe they will. Who the hell knows? That's that's
the beauty of this whole thing, right? It's
and honestly, I want to make this point too. We didn't have a tournament last year, as we all know, but we also, because of that, we don't have things to latch onto from last year. Like we don't have we didn't get to see what Iowa could or could not do. This iteration of Iowa in the NCAA tournament. So this idea of like this Iowa basketball can't work in the tournament, or it can, or what These are data points we need, Tate.
Yeah. And then
we're going blind here.
Well, there's a team like Texas Tech, right, that goes to the title game in 2019. Chris Beard kind of lets the world know that he's one of the best coaches in college basketball, and now they're sitting there as a 6 seed. They play, Utah State is a tough team, but you take a coach like Chris Beard, and who knows what happens. He can make another run, and we know him now as a tournament guy. It wasn't just a fluke. It wasn't a one-time thing.
Yep.
But we haven't seen him since he made the title run. So those types of things.
Let's try to figure out who's overseeded, underseeded.
Properly seeded.
What do we have some choices? Georgia Tech, let's throw Georgia Tech up there. How do we feel about Georgia Tech as a 9? I think coming in, we thought there was a chance they might be like a 10, right? That was what people were saying.
That they had them as a 10, but also no one predicted them to win the ACC tournament, right? Everyone expected Florida State to beat them in the title game, and then you kind of see them as a 9 or a 10. I think that they are ridiculously overseeded. I think that if anything, they should be a 7 seed. I mean,
so that you would then say that's underseeded. The exact opposite. By overseeded, you mean literally.
Well,
I
mean, I was doing it by this. You know what I mean? Like overseeded, like they're too high. Sorry, I was confused. I got this always screws me because some people say it's high. You're a high seed or a low seed. You've ever been ranked. You know what I mean? In general, they should have been a 7 seed, right?
Call it what you want. They should have been a 7 seed.
Yeah, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to say, high, low, whatever. Joe Blow, here it is, 7 seed.
I would agree with you. It's staggering that we.
I'm trying to find what 7 seed they should have been. Probably Clemson, honestly. The fact that Clemson's a 7 seed and they aren't. Clemson, give your spot to Georgia Tech. They just won the ACC tournament, That's what I would say.
It's staggering that we've arrived at a point where the ACC champions with the ACC Player of the Year and the ACC Defensive Player of the Year.
And should have been the ACC Coach of the Year.
Are a 9 seed.
A 9 seed.
But it kind of makes sense.
No, I do think it's the disrespect. It's a Big Ten year. You know this, so it's the disrespect. We see it. We observe it.
I do think they should have been better seeded, but whatever.
We're going to have Coach Pastner on the show, right?
This might be good for. Yeah, we are. We're going to have him coming up. This might actually be good for Georgia Tech. You beat the 1 seed. You win in the second round against Illinois.
Now you're the 1 seed.
And then away you go. You're the 1 seed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Sister Jean's a tough
throw another one up there. Let's figure the other one. San Diego State as a 6 seed. I think this is perfect. I think
they're properly seeded.
This makes a lot of sense to me. San Diego State.
I could see a 5 seed actually. I mean, there's a chance.
They as I said, when was
6 is better than 5.
That they lost back-to-back games to Utah State, and it just felt like they were on the bubble for a second there, and they haven't lost since. But the Mountain West is. That 6 seed makes a lot of sense.
I think Jerry Palm had them as a 9 seed in his latest bracket. Yeah. So the fact that they are a 6 seed instead of an 8 or a 9, that's a good draw. And to play Syracuse, a team that we thought might be outside looking in.
San Diego State plays awesome defense. They shoot well from 3-point line.
Yep.
They have. It's funny how them and Gonzaga, I kind of trust. I know San Diego State hasn't had a ton of success in March, though. I should point that out. They have had the success in March that people think Gonzaga's had.
But what you just said about, we wish that we had last year, and obviously, Malachi Flynn would have been there, so it would have changed things a little bit. Would have been a great Kemba candidate for last year, now in the Raptors.
Yeah, maybe San Diego State
learned something
on a run last year, and then suddenly it's easier to believe in San Diego State.
Yeah, they go to the Sweet 16 Elite 8. We're like, San Diego State, watch out for them when the tournament comes.
Yeah, so. I don't think they were going to last year, though. If I remember right, the wheels were sort of
well, they hung the banner.
A 6 seed makes a lot of sense to me. Dude, you just brought that up. They hung the banner. They cut down nets.
Yeah, you don't do that. Those are the things you don't do.
Gym nets.
Yeah.
They played on the road and then came
The
home.
best part was the show.
Gym.
Shout out to the show. Their fans that were so gracious to us. You know, they were telling us the story about what they, you know, like hanging the banner and cutting down the nets, and they were saying it in this very excited way. And then our faces are looking at them like they're telling us about the worst, most heinous thing ever. And they're like, "Why are you guys freaking out?" We're like, "This is all bad vibes." They're like, "Go knock on wood. Go do anything to be superstitious about this."
I like San Diego State as a 6 seed. 6 seed because if you think about it as like a top 25 poll.
Yes.
A 6 seed is like in the 20 to 24 range,
and
right?
That's right where they were.
That makes sense to me.
Yes.
I hear that. I'm like, yeah, San Diego State's a 20 to 24 range.
This is good for West Coast basketball, that the fact the committee looked at them, respected them, gave them the right seeds.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is that it's hilarious that we've reached a point where like Gonzaga and San Diego State, when it comes time to seed them, they get respect.
Yes.
The Pac-12, when it comes time to seed them, not as much.
Yeah.
Not as much.
I guess Colorado got some respect, but that was pretty much it.
All right, one more. Throw another one up here. Arkansas is the 3 seed.
Oh, yeah.
What do we think? I think Arkansas is still somehow underseeded. I think they should have been a 2. I think if they beat LSU and they're in the SEC championship game and lose to Alabama even today, say, they're definitely a 2. I think I've been waiting all year to get Houston off the 2 line. We got Houston off the 1 line when they lost to East Carolina. I was waiting for Houston to get off the 2 line. I do not like Houston. Those are words I'm definitely going to get thrown back in my face here in a couple weeks. But I don't like Houston, and I like Arkansas. Arkansas was red. They won like 13 or 14 SEC games in a row.
Yep.
Torching everybody in the SEC.
The must bust.
Come up a little short in the SEC tournament. I would have liked Arkansas as a 2 seed, but maybe this will be good. Maybe we'll put a little chip on their shoulder.
The 3 line is the line that they had to get to, so it's good that they're there. Again, a top 3 seed has won 21 of the last 22 national championships. So I think that, you know, if you're Arkansas with the backcourt of Tate and Moody, and, you know, the fact that you have Eric Musselman, a guy who has made a run in March before, we have some history to lean on. I think that they're a scary team. I like them as a 3 seed. I don't think that you're upset about being a 3 seed. I think if you're Arkansas, you would have gotten upset if you were at that 4 line, right? That's when you're
disrespectful.
Yeah, exactly. That's when I'm upset.
Yeah.
So properly seeded is probably the right answer. You're probably right though that there's a case to be made that could be a 2 seed.
Yeah, they're better. If you're asking me, is Arkansas better than Houston? The answer is yes.
Absolutely.
And I guess that's how I think about seeding teams. I don't care about quad 1 wins and quad 7 losses.
And I like Quentin Grimes, but Moody to me is better than Grimes. So like if I just do it as straight up as that, it's like I'll take Moody and I'll take my chances. So give me Arkansas.
Yeah. Who else jumps out to you as over or underseeded? Oregon is the one that as soon as I saw 7 for Oregon, I felt like that was pretty wild. Because for the longest time to me, USC, Colorado, Oregon, all kind of in the similar boat in terms of, again, throw your quad 1s, whatever. You're boring. You're boring me.
Yes.
You're boring me.
Yes.
I'm talking about how good of a team are you. Oregon felt like Oregon had guys missing. Will Richardson was out a lot of games. He comes back. They're a different team. They felt like to me, they were on par with Colorado and USC. They draw the short straw. They get the 7 seed. Doug Gottlieb has been he's been going nuts all season. Like he's like, Oregon is the best team in the Pac-12. Don't pay attention to what happened in the Pac-12 tournament.
Yep.
That Oregon State beat them.
Yep.
Oregon is still the best team in the Pac-12 in his eyes. 7 seed feels pretty harsh to me in that regard.
Yeah, I will say that. I mean, I think that's a tough draw. I mean, the other thing I was going to look at was Tennessee and Oregon State. I mean, Tennessee is one of those teams where I don't know what they are, and I think that's why a 5 seed is perfect for them, I guess is properly rated, because, you know, you could argue to me that Tennessee at one time had a chance to make a real run, could be a top 3 seed. And then there's times I've watched them play, and they look like an 8-9 seed. So there's a lot of variability and range with Tennessee. And Oregon State, it's the same as Georgetown. It's like, how much can I take into account this run that you made in your conference tournament?
Right.
Are you really clicking here, or is it we're going to take you out of that magical environment and now we're back to who we thought you were? Right. Like Georgetown. That is kind of the confounding thing with both those teams. I don't know how much to buy into.
I don't love 12 seed major conference teams.
Yes,
I love mid-major 12 seeds.
Yeah.
I guess maybe we answer that. Like if you're looking at the 5-12 matchups, which is the upset specialty? It's Winthrop Villanova.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that's the best one. But I know Villanova fans are going to lose their mind if we say that's the best one, because they're probably upset that they're a 5 seed.
Who cares? Who cares what we think though, Tate? Because we got Arkansas up here. We also have the Arkansas head coach on.
Yes.
Look at this. He's literally on a bus, Tate.
Yes, the must bus. Yes.
I'm actually on a bus.
He's literally on a bus. Coach, last time we talked to you, we had you on right before the start of conference play, I think, and we were talking about you guys hadn't played necessarily the strongest schedule. We were still trying to figure out what kind of team you are. A lot has happened between now and then, Coach.
You're on fire, Coach.
You're on fire. You're everyone's favorite team. You're a sleeper team. You got a 3 seed. Talk to us about where your head's at going into the tournament.
Well, first of all, I just told the team that it's really hard to make this tournament. I'm really proud of the group that we earned. I think it was the 9th overall, seed as a 3 seed. So we're excited. We're pumped up for that. Now all that, Selection Sunday stuff's got to be behind us. We got to look forward to playing a really, really good Colgate team who, is 14-1 and can really shoot the basketball and plays at a fast tempo. So transition defense is going to be really important for us moving forward.
Now, hang on a second. How do you know that already? I'm always fascinated by this. Like, you coaches, like you have stuff. You had this on lock. Like, you knew exactly what Colgate was about. How does that work?
Well, we had a 5-hour bus ride from Nashville, and actually our staff, we had projected 3 teams that we could possibly play. I'm glad we guessed right. I mean, I can tell you their whole depth chart. I mean, we got to stop number 1, Jordan Burns at the point. They got 2 really good off guards, 0-0 Cummings, 13 their backup. James
Coach,
Ferguson
you're the best.
Can score the basketball. I got it all. They're second in the nation in scoring at 86.4 points and second in the nation in assisted turnovers and 8th in total of turnovers. So we got to really guard the basketball and rush the quarterback because of the number of assists that they put out.
And Coach, that's the basketball aspect of it. We want to ask you about the muscle meme, right? We remember in 2018, you became a phenomenon. Mariah became a phenomenon. You and Sister Jean, have the Sweet 16 matchup. How excited are you to get back to that madness, to get back to that world? Because you're memeing the entire season. If you don't keep up with Arkansas basketball, I mean, Michael Musselman is a star, and you guys are stars yourselves.
No, I mean, obviously it's really cool to have my son Michael on staff, and we're traveling with each other. And this morning we were working out together in the weight room, and Mariah and Danielle are going to take a flight in, on Friday and watch us.
Love it.
And last time we were in here, the wife and daughter kind of stole the show. So, but the only way that happens is if you win a game or 2.
We love it.
What is the secret behind that? Because I feel like a lot of coaches in your position, with a team as hot as you guys are, there's a little bit of expectation in Fayetteville. They might be tense. They might be nervous. Wouldn't be the right word, but just like this is the grandest stage in the sport, and you're about to step into it, and you're always so loose. You're always so joyful. You're always just having fun. How?
Explain it, Coach.
Well, grow up in San Diego on Mission Beach, and that'll kind of put things in perspective. So, but look, we want to have fun. There's a lot of work that goes into getting here, but I think you guys are right. Like, how can you keep your team on edge, but also allow them to get the full experience of this thing? And I think I learned through the first 2 years at Nevada when we did not advance the importance of trying to really loosen the atmosphere, because there is. I mean, everyone knows you're on a worldwide stage. And so how do you have fun and enjoy the process as well? Because I think that can carry over between the lines.
Well, Coach, you're the king of fun, and, it's great to have you join us. It's great for you to, kind of let us know what's going on. One last thing from us. I mean, as you look forward to this experience in Indianapolis, I mean, there's like, all these rules and regulations and things you have to keep up with. What can you do to kind of just make this fun, like you said? I mean, is there any special muscle quality, or you want to keep that to yourself?
No, we're going to have to be, we don't know. We're actually headed right now to our team hotel.
There you go.
We'll COVID test tonight. Everybody will be, in isolation. We'll test again in the morning. Hopefully we'll get those results back where we can practice tomorrow night. But obviously, no practice today, no practice in the morning. And then we just wait word on when those test results come back and we can get out on the floor. But I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to have to make this thing fun some way. Even though we know, like, everybody's going to be on the same floor in the hotel. It'll be the first time in my coaching career that I could actually have a hotel room, right next door to 2 players. When you're coaching in the NBA, I'm not sure you want a hotel room next to Meta World Peace.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Best of luck. I know you as a coach, you don't look ahead. You're only focused on Colgate. You're not worried about the rest of the bracket. I am not a coach, so I am looking ahead. And in the Sweet 16, the 2 seed in your region would be the Ohio State Buckeyes. So let me just go ahead and say, as much as I love you, Coach, I would not hate it if maybe the Arkansas must-bust ran out of gas when you come up against the Buckeyes. But, listen, if you have to do us dirty, I won't be the most upset in the world. Tell Coach Rich I said what's up. The strength coach, he's a Buckeye as well. All the best.
He's going to love that shout-out, trust me.
Best of luck. Take it easy, Coach.
Good luck.
Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, he's the best.
Oh, literally on the must bus. How about that?
Yeah,
dude.
We couldn't have asked for
Moses
more.
Moody is a star, and
yes.
I think that is what we need to focus on with Arkansas. I just now realized, I don't know why it didn't click with me that Florida, Arkansas, Texas Tech, 3 guys that when we were throwing out Kemba candidates, they're all right there in the same. I'm throwing Dwayne Washington in the mix. If we're going to go
up there, yeah, why not?
After what we saw tonight, after we saw this Big Ten run. So you could have, and again, a lot of stuff can happen. Apologies to Virginia Tech fans, Colgate fans, Utah State fans. But
Caleb Love for North Carolina could be up there at 30 points against Duke. You know what I mean? As we look at this region, Brad Davison, he's shooting 13% from the 3-point line this season. I'm sure he could be in the mix there. Ivy at Purdue. You could talk yourself into a bunch of guys.
You can talk yourself into a lot of guys, but I'm looking at the bottom half of that bracket, and I'm like, damn, dude. It's just Mac McClung, Moses Moody, Trey Mann, and Dwayne Washington.
Good luck.
Could be all in the second round right there, playing against each other. That is
Dickie V just tweeted that Arkansas Colgate is going to be a great game, and I don't know where that came from, but I think it's because he just watched us interview Moss.
J Money on YouTube, better Kemba candidate, Cade Cunningham or Buddy Boeheim?
Great question. Buddy Boeheim is his own candidate. I think this is the Buddy Boeheim redemption tour. He's in the tournament. He's going to take. How many shots does Buddy Boeheim take in this first round? That is the over/under of the tournament. I'm going to go 20.5 as the line. He's going to take a lot of shots in this game.
I need some time to think about this Syracuse San Diego State. That's going to be an ugly game.
Yeah, of course.
That's going to be.
Yeah,
that's going to be such an ugly game. Dude.
Should we pick the worst matchup in the first round?
What is the game?
That is probably that game.
If you watch every second of this,
I think UConn Maryland could be terrible because Maryland is going to try to suck the life out of the magic of UConn. You know what I mean? And Turgeon versus Dan Hurley. That's a lot of testosterone and anger that's going on between those two. That could be that probably won't be too fun.
I could see, that game become like UConn loses and UConn fans are like, that shouldn't count.
Yes,
that wasn't basketball. What I just watched was not basketball.
Exactly. Maryland's
more cell just like
them.
locks up book night, but it's like a little too physical. And
I don't like that. I don't like that matchup at all. I really don't.
Speaking of UConn and Maryland, they fall in the middle ground of blue blood, new blood, which we are fascinated by. This is supposed to be there's supposed to be a transition away from the blue bloods. The blue bloods suck this year, as we know. The new bloods are on the scene. Your Gonzagas, your Baylors, your Florida States, your whoever else may be.
I think Texas is a new blood. A team like that. Yeah.
So we have our new
Houston
blood.
is a new blood.
We have our new blood versus blue blood scoreboard that we're going to be updating throughout the tournament, because we're trying to make sense of this. Who is this a new blood or is this a blue blood year?
Well, here it is. -2, Kentucky, 1, Duke, 2. So two blue bloods are out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We just took them out. As far as new bloods, as we look around here, Baylor, 1 seed. We're going to give them a bump there. Gonzaga's a blue blood, right?
You consider Gonzaga blue blood?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I think Gonzaga checks all the boxes of
so
a
it's
traditional
literally
blue
for you,
blood.
just like if you're good and you have blue as one of your
It's
colors.
a part of it. It plays a part in it. It does play a part. You have to have some blue. That's why, Indiana, true blood. No blue, but they're true blood.
I think the Pac-12 got no respect with their seeding. That should be noted. Is that blue blood or?
Pac-12 is not blue blood, but UCLA is the Conference of Champions, so -1.
But they got in, so maybe +1.
Okay, so all right, we'll give it back to 3. What about? I'm trying to figure out what new bloods I need to. Michigan is a tough one, right? Like what is Michigan? Michigan could be considered a blue blood. They did it in the 20th century. They had the Fab Five, of course, is probably their most famous. But when you look at the Beeline era and what they were able to do 2013 and 2018. It does seem very new blood to me. So Michigan, I would like to hear from the Michigan fans what they want to be. Do you want to be a blue blood? Do you want to be a new blood? Villanova is a blue blood, for example. They've chosen to be a blue blood.
They're a blue blood.
They could be a new blood, but they've chosen to be.
What about Illinois winning the Big Ten title, getting a 1 seed?
That's a new blood.
New blood.
I think this iteration of Illinois, 21st century Illinois, You know, I'm not talking about the Flying Illini. You know, shout out to Steven Bardo. That's our guy. Not talking about Kendall Gill. I'm talking about the new blood, new iteration, 05 version and this version.
Tate, I got to say, we set out to make sense of new bloods and blue bloods.
This will never. If you're at home, this will never make sense. So just deal with it. +1.
Ohio State gets. We got Oral Roberts in the first.
Shout out to Oral Roberts,
dude. No, absolutely
great baseball
not.
team.
What about Rick Pitino getting Nate Oates in the first round?
That's a good one. That's blue blood, new blood right there. That's Nate Oates is a new blood. Rick Pitino is a blue blood. I'm gonna give a +1 to the blue bloods because Rick Pitino's in the tournament.
Also, Rick Pitino wearing suits on the sideline.
That's a plus.
That's a plus for the blue bloods. Yep. He's the only guy keeping it classy, as he always does. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things we love about
Florida State versus UNCG. That's a -1 for the new bloods. That's a tough matchup. We should point this out. New bloods is a term that was created by Leonard Hamilton, one of our favorite coaches in college basketball, a guy that should be in the Hall of Fame, a guy that famously said to Dana, once upon a time in the Elite Eight. We all remember that in 2018. Great times. But yeah, that's where it came from. New bloods, blue bloods. Indiana is a true blood. NC State is a true blood. If you have any case to be a true blood, reach out to us. Maybe we'll consider it. Rutgers basketball could be a true blood. Who knows? Purdue.
Yeah, I like Rutgers. Rutgers got a good draw. Houston, as I can't say it enough. Don't trust Houston.
Houston is a confounding one as well because Houston, 1983. If they beat NC State, the true blood, then we're calling them a blue blood. I think they're more new blood, so being a 2 seed, we'll give them a bump there.
All right. So what else is jumping out to us here? I was asking you before we cut off with Musselman, the 5-12 upset. This is something that people get excited about. It draws, and for the people at home, here's why. I'm going to break it down for you. Your 5s and your 12s. Your 5s, as we're seeing here, are usually your teams that are maybe were good, have fallen down a little bit, like Villanova, for example. Great example
Tennessee.
Of a 5 seed. A team that usually 5s are a power conference team that are sort of middle of the road. Maybe they started out hot and they're falling back to earth. Maybe they Colorado, I guess, like got good down the stretch ish. I don't know, but they're a team. They're a power conference
update.
team.
I don't know.
They're a power conference team that doesn't instill a ton of confidence in you. Is you typically what your 5 seed is, whereas your 12 seed. Very often, Tate, is your mid-major that the best automatic qualifiers of all the mid-majors, like your Winthrops, which is the one that jumps out at us. So that's why 12s over 5s
should have been
happen.
UNCG. UNCG should have been a 12 seed. I'll say that.
So that's why 12s over 5s happen so often is because you get a team like Winthrop that's won a lot of games, used to winning, has a winning culture, so to speak, going up against a team like Villanova that has lost their point guard. Justin Moore's hobbled. What is Villanova now? They've not looked great without Colin Gillespie. Obviously, are they going to be able to figure it out? That to me seems like the one. But is there another one that jumps? UC Santa Barbara?
Yeah, UCSB could be one just because I like that team. I don't know if you watched the Big West Championship game. People back they played the Anteaters, the UC Irvine Anteaters, the Gauchos versus the Anteaters. It was a great game last night, and UCSB showed me a lot of potential. They have some talented guys on their team. Like I said, McLaughlin transferred from Oregon State. A guy that can play up against some high level programs and do well, fare well. Can take some big shots as well. Not afraid of the moment. So UCSB is up there as a potential one. Honestly. As stupid as it is, the 14-3 game, or the 13-4 game, I should say, is one that's always interesting now, I feel like. And Oklahoma State Liberty is a tough game. I think Oklahoma State, you win that game, you're guaranteed to go to the Sweet 16, but I would not overlook Liberty there. And the same thing with Florida State. I know I've said it before, but I would not overlook UNCG. The Mean Green of North Texas. I love Purdue, but there are a lot of freshmen. They're playing on a big stage in a home state. They have a little bit of a dark horse, aspect to them. Just don't overlook North Texas because they're a really good basketball team. So the 4-13 games, I could see.
How many teams do you have left to say could move on from the first round?
Well, Ohio, Virginia was my last one. Yeah, that was my last one. I was just saying the 5-12 is the usual one. I think the 13-4 games are more interesting. That's the whole point.
Point to a team on this board. You have a lot to choose from.
Yes.
That's not a 16 seed or a 15 seed, and say you're gone. You suck. You're definitely losing. You cannot move on. You have no chance. I don't know. Musk got me fired up, dude. The way he had Colgate scouted.
I was going to say Colgate's was
played
my answer. But
3 teams all year. And Musk had him. He was ready. I don't know. I
think Abilene Christian is probably my second answer.
Abilene Christian. They're in Texas.
I know.
Texas can't lose that game.
Yeah.
There's no way they're losing that game.
But I also, I mean, that's something that's like a backhand, deal where it's like, there's no way this will ever happen, and we'll schedule you next year and pay you to come play.
Exactly. Yeah. Shaka pulls them aside and is like, listen.
Do you want $200,000 next year to play us? Yeah, come.
Exactly. Santa Barbara. We were talking about Santa Barbara. It got my attention. Thinking, do you think the Oprah Royal interview that happened in Santa Barbara?
Alvarado is the ultimate Kemba candidate. I will. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Grant.
I love this show so much.
That's a good point.
I just love that. I'm like, Tate, here's the thought, Oprah, and you're like, no, Alvarado.
No, I mean, thank you, Grant. That was a great. That was a great point. I liked it. Zagorowski could be there too. Marcus Zagorowski for Creighton could be up there as a Kemba candidate.
You said without saying, you're like, whatever is coming out of your mouth, I do not care. I could not care any less. I'm going to point to Jose Alvarado. I see Jose Alvarado on my screen. I
love Jose Alvarado.
You see Santa Barbara's coach, Joe Pastner. He went to Indiana. That's a little nugget. Purdue's the only team from Indiana that's taking place. The tournament is taking place in Indiana.
You know what else he was in?
What else was it?
Remember those? Remember the game plan? We had to read the. Yeah.
I know. I was gonna leave that part out. I mean, the guy.
Love him to death.
The guy just got a 12 seed in the tournament, dude. I don't want to.
Respect. Yeah. I mean, that's how I knew the name though. Like last time watching the game, I was like, ah. Yeah. It's like I've seen you. I've read your transcripts of your phone calls that time.
Is UC Santa Barbara part of the Pac-12 update? Does that count?
They should be, honestly. The Big West in general is a great conference.
These are your West Coast teams. I'm going to pivot so I can get a good look at these.
This is a great graphic. This is the Pac-12 in our mind. We've grouped it all in. Utah State is an interesting team, I feel like, that we haven't talked about a lot on our show in general. Boise State is an for us.
Yeah, who are thumbs down? We're thumbs downing, obviously, Eastern Washington. Yeah. Like, good job, you made it, but no one's excited about you. Boise State.
Yeah, thumbs down.
We can't.
I don't necessarily. Yeah, I mean, it's just like Boise State. Congratulations, you had a great season, but thumbs down right now. Colorado, to me, as a 5, is a thumbs down. I don't really like that draw. Oregon State, I want to figure out if it's just a flash in the pan moment. So I'm kind of just like here. I'm Chuck Norris before in dodgeball when he flips it over. I don't really know with Oregon State. UCLA is a no for me. USC is I guess an up because they have Evan Mobley. San Diego State's an up for me. UCSB's an up for me. Oregon's an up for me. BYU's an up for me. I like BYU.
I like BYU. Yeah. Colorado, what's interesting is Oregon State is a 12 seed. Colorado's a 5 seed. They just played. So this will be Colorado's second 5-12 game that they played.
Yeah.
I actually like Colorado for that reason. And the same
You're right. That is a good point.
Same with Georgetown and Creighton.
That is a good point.
Same with Georgetown and Creighton, dude.
Yep. That's a good point.
Same with Georgetown and Creighton. So I actually like Colorado because you can't lose. They already got the 12-5 upset out of the way. They got it out of their system. They lost to Oregon State.
I'm just there's just the world in which I can't see Patrick Ewing losing this game. I really can't. I can't see Georgetown losing to Colorado in the first round for some reason. I hope that
the momentum that they have as a program.
I don't know why. I just can't see it in my mind. No offense to Colorado. I think you guys have a fun team. I just see Georgetown winning that game.
Yeah. All right. Well,
BYU's fun though. I like BYU. As a 6 seed, and BYU. I mean, they were up what 5-10 points on Gonzaga right at halftime. They're
up like 12. It was like
12. It was more. Yeah,
41, I believe.
Yeah. So we've seen BYU be able to be a contending team. So I like them as a potential. Make a little run down there.
I still see the GU up there, and I think this is just a lot of fun distractions to just hand a trophy to Gonzaga in 3 weeks.
I mean, if we were playing a real tournament, 4 regionals, Gonzaga is going to win it all. I will say that. Gonzaga is by far the best team in the country, but Illinois is right there.
Yeah. What should we bother even do you want to do should we fill out a bracket?
What do you mean? Just kind of run through it?
Yeah, I guess
talk it out?
Yeah, let's talk it out.
All right. I'm looking at should we just start up in Gonzaga? Should we just start with the number 1 overall seed and just talk through it as best we can?
I think Gonzaga, as I said, to the Sweet 16. Oklahoma, Missouri do not scare me. App State, I know you like them just because you're from that part of the country, but
shout out to Boone, North Carolina. Shout out to App State basketball. Shout out to Bobby Crimmins. If you don't know, Bobby Crimmins started at App State. Do your research. He's the best. App State's a great basketball program, very underrated. I mean, that was a tough draw. But Gonzaga, like you said, I don't see Oklahoma or Missouri doing it. I don't see Creighton doing it. In fact, I could see Creighton losing to Santa Barbara in the first game.
I could see a 12-13 game between.
Yes,
Santa
Ohio,
Barbara and
UC
Ohio.
Santa Barbara, and everyone thinking it'd be Creighton, Virginia, but those two teams actually go through. And then the bottom half of that bracket, I mean, it's sort of the same thing. It's like Iowa, I don't see them losing to Oregon or VCU, really. I think Kansas will be a tough game for Iowa. I could see Kansas eking that one out. And, in fact, if you're Gonzaga, I think Kansas is the biggest team and the biggest scare in this region. And
I think Kansas is the one, but they're
not the Kansas that we saw in
right.
January, February. You know what I mean? So it's not really as threatening as it does look on paper.
The problem, on paper, it jumps out to you that some of these teams are good, but obviously,
yes.
But Iowa plays a similar style to Gonzaga. Gonzaga just does it better.
Yep.
Creighton plays similar to Gonzaga. Gonzaga just does it better.
Yeah.
That's why Kansas is the one that's slightly interesting, but who the hell even knows what Kansas is?
But there's you see like a version where like Agbaji and Garrett and like McCormack just have like a ridiculously physically dominating game against Gonzaga, and it's back and forth, and somehow they're able to eke it out. Very Michigan State Duke in 2019. You know what I mean? Where we know that the one seed is by far the better team in this game, but tonight anything is possible, anything can happen. So yeah, Kansas is the only team that scares me there. Gonzaga is going to go to the Final Four. I like that.
I like Gonzaga to the Elite Eight at least before it gets interesting for them.
I wanted Iowa to go to the Final Four. I will say that. I mean, but I told you this today. I thought there were going to be 3 teams that go to the Final Four from the Big Ten. Oh, here we go. Yes.
Speaking of the Big Ten, speaking of teams you like to the Final Four, Tate, you have been on the Purdue Boilermakers as your sleeper team for a while now. And joining us now is the head coach of those Purdue Boilermakers, Matt Painter. Coach, I guess we start there with the idea of you guys being a sleeper. You've been in this business for a while. You've gone into NCAA tournaments where you're kind of a favorite. You've gone into tournaments where not a lot is expected of you. There is a lot of sleeper buzz around this team. Where do you feel? What's the most fun as a coach? What level of expectation is the most fun?
Yeah, well, the most fun's winning, obviously, but it's a crapshoot at times in the NCAA tournament. Like you're going, on a neutral floor, you're playing, quality teams no matter what. The thing that I try to do is make sure your guys know that you can beat anybody and you can get beat by anybody. And everybody's earned their way here. And if you go into it and you try to look past an opponent like you're getting ready to get beat, and don't even think that way. And we've really changed here in the last 5 or 6 years when we've gotten into the tournament is not like divvied up the schools with your assistants. Just make all of your assistants just worry about North Texas and just leave it as it is, because you're going to get a chance to see them play in the tournament 2 days before if you win that next game, if you can get there. And just keep your focus there and keep your focus on your own team. There's a lot of things that go into it. But for the most part, you have to have your team ready, and you got to respect your opponent.
And Coach, we want to ask you a little bit about, the last time we saw March Madness, of course, is 2019. And, that Elite Eight game that you have with Virginia is one of those games that across the country, everyone remembers. They remember the back and forth. But this version of Purdue is not the 2019 version. There's a lot of young guys on this team. So does that make it a little bit different for you coming into this tournament where you almost have to get these guys up to speed on the culture of March Madness in the tournament?
Yeah, sure. In that, that Elite Eight game, like our bench are the guys that are still with us. The 4 guys that came off the bench for it, all freshmen. Now they're juniors. And to be able to have that experience, those guys won the Big Ten that year. We've played in a lot of NCAA tournament games, but they're the guys on our team that have had that experience. And, you're going to lean on those guys. I think it's going to be a unique tournament for, everything that's going on. But to have some guys on your team that has had the experience of getting to the Elite Eight, I think that's really going to help.
You mentioned everything going on. One of the things going on is the entire tournament is taking place in your home state of Indiana. Don't lie to us, Coach. You are aware that you're the only team from the state of Indiana in this tournament. There's got to be some pride about that Purdue is holding it down for the whole state.
Question. Yeah, there's no question. I just realized that in the last interview. I didn't realize that was the case. But no, there's pride in just getting to the NCAA tournament. And a lot of people always talk to you like you guys should. Can you get to the Elite Eight? Can you get to the Final Four? I'm like, well, you got to get in the tournament first. Yeah. Like that's an accomplishment in itself. And then once you do that, you can't be excited about it. You have to be able to lock in and not get all giddy and get serious about playing. And but no, to have this in the state of Indiana is pretty cool, and to be able to play in it obviously is even better.
Just for clarity though, you guys are still in Indianapolis. You're still going through the same things that every other team is going through. There's no, we saw Duke for the ACC tournament. They were staying in Durham and then driving up to Greensboro. There's nothing like that going on where you guys are in Lafayette and driving to. You guys are going to be in Indianapolis. Is that? Am I understanding that?
Yes, tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll leave tomorrow morning to go there.
All right.
Yes.
Well, Coach, I mean, that's we really appreciate you joining us and letting us in on this. I do, fingers crossed, knock on wood, all this stuff. I believe in your team. I see the path in my mind, so I'll be pulling for you, Coach.
There you go.
Yeah, Coach. There's something about like every other coach when you guys are down by a lot or times have gotten difficult. They tell their guys it's not over yet. We can keep fighting. But something about you tell your guys that they actually listen.
Yeah,
they never give up. I think that's what we love about watching your Purdue teams is I don't love it when you guys are playing Ohio State, my alma mater. Certainly in the Big Ten. You guys gave me a heart attack the other day. But you guys never give up. We're so excited to see what you can do in this tournament. Best of luck. Appreciate you making some time for us.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Man, I love Purdue even more now after the Elite Eight stuff. I just remembered those guys. We got everything we need. We got the talent, we got the experience, and we got the coach. Let's go Boilermaker. I know Coach Titus at home right now is upset I'm saying all this, but I see a path for Purdue, guys.
Matt Painter in his head, he has to just laughing his ass off that Purdue's the only team from Indiana that's in this thing. The Hoosiers aren't, Butler's not, Notre Dame's not.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Dude, are you excited about this?
Yes.
Yeah. Joining us now is a man that we could not be more excited to talk to. A man who just won an ACC tournament championship. A man who's wearing the face shield. We were wondering if he was going to wear it, Tate. Josh Pastner. Now he's taking it off.
I'll lower it so you can hear me better.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Coach, you guys, this has been a wild season. You become a star of this college basketball season. I'm sure you're aware of this. Just the face shield, just your positivity that's exuding from every interaction we get to see of what you have going on with your players. It's been in a lot of ways a dream season. There's still work to be done though. How do you, now that you're sitting here on the precipice of an NCAA tournament, having just won an ACC tournament, how do you not just celebrate what you've already accomplished? How do you stay hungry? How do you keep your team hungry and say there's still work to be done here, guys?
Yeah, we obviously, first of all, thanks for having me.
Of course, Coach.
And you want to celebrate the success. You know how hard it is to win an ACC tournament championship. That's 5 top 20 wins we had this year because, beating Florida State last night. They were 15th in the country, so it was our 5th top 20 win. In this league, to have the player of the year,
yes,
and then not only the player of the year, but also the defensive player of the year, and they're 2 different players, and we're at Georgia Tech. You know how many blue bloods are in this program, in this league, and we're at Georgia Tech, and we're getting all this done, and man, it's been awesome. You just don't take it for granted. I know how hard it is to win games. And to win in this league, there's so many great coaches. We got Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers, so many pros. But we're excited. We're excited about playing in the NCAA tournament. It's been over a decade since Georgia Tech's been there. It was over almost 30 years since Georgia Tech won an ACC tournament championship.
Yep.
So we're moving forward. We broke a lot of records this year. Did some things that hadn't been done in the last 25 to 30 years in Georgia Tech basketball history. And we're excited. We play Loyola Chicago Friday. They're a great team. And people have asked me, well, do you feel like your seeding was a little low? And I was like, hey, you're in the tournament, man, everybody's good. I don't care who you play, what the seed is. If you want to advance, you're going to have to beat someone good. And that's just the bottom line. And we're really honored to be part of this tournament.
And Coach, we have to ask this because you mentioned Moses and you mentioned, Jose, and you talk about, those guys being able to become stars in the ACC. But, Moses didn't even have a D1 scholarship at one point. Alvarado, didn't believe he was going to be able to play in the ACC. A lot of people like Titus and I at the start of the year, we didn't know what Georgia Tech was going to look like. We kind of maybe wrote you guys off.
You guys weren't even practicing 5-on-5, Coach.
Yeah. So what does it feel like to be that underdog and to be that Cinderella story? Because it has been great for us to watch.
Well, heck, we lost our first 2 games. I didn't know how we were going to be. I was like, oh my goodness, this is not going to be good. Obviously, because of COVID-19, we avoided trying to get shut down. And so the best way to avoid that, we did not have contact practices, any body-to-body contact. Obviously, that ended up biting us in the rear the way we started the season. But look, a guy like Moses Wright, think about that. His 2 scholarship offers. Georgia Tech and a Division II school in the state of North Carolina.
Yep, from Raleigh.
That's it. I mean, Catawba, that's it. Think about that. Jose Alvarado, a 3-star recruit. I had more people tell me, Coach, what are you thinking recruiting this guy? You're at Georgia Tech. That league is all about big guards. But you know what? Jose's big thing was winning was more important than breathing. And I knew we had to have a guy like that. And so I'm so proud of both of these young men. I mean, both are going to graduate from Georgia Tech. Both have played so hard. Moses Wright's development.
Unbelievable.
I mean, he was a tennis player and a swimmer. He didn't even pick up a basketball until his sophomore year of high school.
It's very Tim Duncan.
And now the guys now listen, he wasn't the player of the year in some small little league. The ACC, can you believe that? It was the ACC, the best college basketball league in the country.
That's right, Coach.
This guy's player of the year. It's an amazing story. What a great lesson for people in life. Any parents out there with young sons or daughters who maybe their son or daughter isn't highly ranked or recruited, follow the Moses Wright story.
Yeah, go to
Georgia story for people to follow.
Coach, we'll let you get back to your team and get ready to play the Fighting Sister Jeans. But before we let you go, one more question. Our friend Mike Rutherford has pointed out that part of your what has made you awesome is your face shield. Thank you for wearing it, by the way, on the interview.
Coach.
It's so good. He has suggested that because in light of all the success you're having this year, should you perhaps pull a Richard Hamilton and even in a post-COVID world, continue to wear the mask even though you don't need it, because this is just like a good luck charm for you.
Wear the
shield,
Coach. Can we possibly
see this into the future that you just keep wearing the face shield?
You know what? You know how many things have been sent to me about these new air filters that look like these space helmets that you put on your head, and it's like this new air system that goes on. I was thinking about that because to wear obviously the face shield has there's air coming up underneath. I was looking at something where you can put on your head and cover every aspect of it.
Yes.
People have asked me, why do you wear the face shield over the mask? One, I feel like when you're coaching in the mask, like you almost feel like you're suffocating. It's hard for me to coach and talk in the mask. So the face shield allows at least the players get to see my facial expressions. I don't move it up and down. I keep it down. And it's been good. People have liked it. And I feel comfortable coaching in it. I don't mind the face shield. I usually wear sometimes, like you saw at the start of the show here, my interview, I was wearing the mask plus the face shield. But in the games, I wear the face shield. It's been going with me. The guys like it. They called me the welder. They think like I'm a handyman.
Yes, at an engineering school.
They call me the welder. But I'm like, I can't even screw a light bulb. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. You know what I mean? So maybe in theory I look like the welder, but I'm not a real handyman.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Best of luck in the tournament. Great year either way, but God, we love you, Coach.
Yes,
You're
Coach.
welcome
Please
back
get
on
an
our
astronaut
program.
helmet. Please get the helmet.
Anytime.
I appreciate it, guys. And if you want a signed face shield from me, it might be worth 50 cents or 75 cents.
Oh, my God.
Please, Coach.
Please. We're begging you. Thanks, Coach. Best of luck.
Good luck.
See you guys.
If you don't love Josh Pastner, you are out of your mind.
You don't get college basketball.
Speaking of people we love, we got Luka Garza here.
Oh, my goodness. Yes.
Look at this.
Wow, the National Player of the Year. Let's go.
Can we call you that, Luka? Or is that presumptive? I mean, the National Player of the Year.
Not on our show.
I don't think so on our show. Luka, where are you?
Don't call me yet.
Don't call you just yet. I assume you're still in Indianapolis after the Big Ten tournament. You're just hanging out there. You guys draw Grand Canyon, I believe, in the first round. How excited are you? Have you looked up Grand Canyon's roster to see if they have another guy who's like just as big as you are and is going to beat the hell out of you? Like, it seems like every time we watch you now, there's a guy on another Big Ten team, and you just like, it's just you two just sumo wrestling down on the block. I mean, I'm sure part of you's got to be like, thank God, finally a game against a team that I don't have to guard Kofi Coburn or Hunter Dickinson.
As soon as we heard their name called, we all went straight to our phones, kind of looking them up, seeing what they've done this year. And obviously, they got here by winning the regular season and the postseason tournament in the WAC, which is a great conference. And, they've beaten some great teams along the way. They pushed Arizona State early on, and they beat Nevada. So they're a really accomplished group. And, obviously I looked at some of their players, and it seems like they got some really good big guys. So I'm excited for the matchup. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And Luka, this is what happens when you have prognosticators like Titus and I. We look at the bracket, we see the 1 seed Gonzaga, we see you guys as the 2 seed at the bottom of the bracket, and we immediately think, oh man, Elite 8 matchup. We've already seen this game earlier in the year. You have 30-10 in that game. Did you think at that time, I hope we see Gonzaga again in the tournament, or were you just, thinking, I got to move on, I got to worry about Grand Canyon? Because, Titus and I, we see it. I like the rematch idea.
Honestly, the mindset for us is just one game at a time. So we're extremely
That's
focused
a good
on
mindset,
Grand
Luka.
Canyon.
Don't listen to us. We don't want you to get ahead of anything.
Yeah, and especially with Coach McCaffrey, he talked to us all after and told us just to make sure that we're not focused on, our round of 32, Sweet 16, or whatever the case may be.
Yep.
Because obviously he's coached as being a 13, 14, 15 seed. So he knows the mindset of a team like that. And that's very valuable to us to understand that. And, we're excited for this matchup. We know that, these games, we need to win, or our season's over. So it means a lot to us, and I want to keep my career going for as long as I can.
Yeah,
love it.
There was no tournament last year. You guys, obviously, I mean, I'm not breaking news there, I don't think. You guys were a team you were great last year. You're great this year. And not having, how much does not having a tournament last year, now going into this tournament, not that it makes you appreciate it more, but Tate and I were talking, like, maybe some of your teams learned lessons last year. Maybe you guys go on a deep run and learn something about your team, or maybe you get upset early in the first round last year and learn something. Do you feel like there's an element of unknown by not having the core last year go through the NCAA tournament experience and now having to do that, or are we overthinking that part of it?
I think that definitely plays a part, but I think for us as a group, we have a lot of guys who were here our sophomore year when we lost to Tennessee in the round of 32 in overtime. So we all are still drawing lessons from that experience. And we were down 25. We came back, pushed them to overtime, and we almost had them. And we were almost right there to go to a Sweet 16. So we know what that feeling is, and we know how close we were then, and we've improved so much. And so we're excited about the opportunity to put ourselves in a position to get another chance, at possibly a Sweet 16 or whatever the case may be. And we understand that, that means taking it at one time. So I think, that's the biggest thing. Obviously, we have some guys who weren't there during that time, but, me, Jordan Bohannon, Joe Wieskamp, Connor McCaffrey, there's a ton of guys that were on that team. And obviously, as leaders, we're going to prepare everyone who wasn't and make sure they understand what this moment means.
And I have to ask you, Luka, because there are so many good bigs in college basketball this year. You yourself are a big, and we hear about 5-out offenses. We hear about small ball all the time. Is it fun for you as a big to play against guys like a Kofi Coburn or a Hunter, but maybe not fun to play against them, but to see the other bigs across the country, a Drew Timme, have so much success this season? Because it does seem that the bigs are getting their due a little bit this year.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's fun to play against those guys. You're playing against the best of the best. It makes it tougher. It's not as easy to do, as it would be against a smaller guy, but it's a lot of fun. And as a competitor, I love playing against the best, and that's why I came to the Big Ten, because the Big Ten has always been famous for having great bigs. When you talk about Purdue and other teams, when I was growing up watching them, and obviously being a part of it. And I think this is a league where the big men in this league might be the best there ever been.
Yep.
So it's been so fun over my 4 years being able to battle against the great big men I have, and I'm excited to face even better big men in this run towards the national championship.
What about what is life? Just give us a perspective. We've been talking to a lot of coaches, and coaches are more boring. They do the coach speak stuff. We want to talk to. We're more interested in talking to players. What is it like inside the quote unquote bubble that's not really a bubble? What is how's the food? Are you guys just bored out of your minds? What is that like? I mean, you've already, like we said, you guys got there early for the Big Ten tournament, so you've been there a while. Is there a concern that there's only so many video games you can play or so many movies you can watch on the hotel TV?
Well, the great thing about the Big Ten tournament was it was a little bit less strict, so you could actually go outside, take a walk, or do whatever the case may be. So today, some of the guys went outside. I think we were playing wiffle ball for a little bit, but before this, NCAA tournament bubble starts, we start our quarantine tonight. And obviously, we're going to be, locked into our rooms. Some, coach told us to prepare and start looking at Grand Canyon. We're going to do that. And, we got Fortnite, we got snacks, people brought stuff. We're prepared to be here for a while. So, it's fun, a very extended AAU trip.
It's like an AAU / summer camp.
It's like a summer
trip,
basketball camp, yeah.
But you're all playing for a national championship. Luka, we appreciate you making time for us, man. We appreciate you coming on the show. Congratulations on all the accolades. Having your jersey retired, that's awesome.
Man,
I know your mindset is on the next 3 weeks, but you've had a hell of a career, man. It's been so fun watching you, and I know you've enjoyed it. I know you've enjoyed that part, and you've always appreciated every step of the way, and we love you for that.
Yeah,
man. Congrats on everything.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, best of luck, man. Go get them. Hold it down for the Big Ten too, man.
We need the bigs in the Big Ten.
Yeah, we can't have the tournament in Big Ten country and not represent. So, yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Yeah, man. God,
how
he's
about
great.
that?
Yeah, there you go. National Player of the Year.
National Player of the Year.
We said it. We're not afraid to
National
say it.
Player of the Year, Luka Garza. We talked to Josh Pastner, who I said it as we wwrapped up. If you're not a fan of Josh Pastner, that's a you problem. You got to figure that out.
I mean, look at this.
the man.
I mean,
the man answered his phone with a mask and a shield on.
Unbelievable. And just smiling at us. You know what I mean? Just like having the best time.
And I asked him if he was going to wear the mask moving forward, and he gave me the whole mechanics of why
he had to wear the mask. You know what I mean? Because air's getting in. I feel like the answer was he's getting a helmet. That was the answer. He just didn't want to commit to that. So
he's going to put on a spacesuit. Oh, man. So we had a National Player of the Year join us, a presumptive. Luka Garza is going to win it, right? We figured, how do you top that, Tate? How do you top a guy who is the best player in college basketball? I'm going to tell you how you top it.
Yeah.
You get the guy who is the longest reigning, most outstanding player in Final Four history. The longest, most outstanding player reign we have ever seen.
Ever.
In the history of the NCAA tournament.
There he is.
Kyle Guy. Joining us now.
Yes.
Kyle, where's your mindset? In 3 weeks, the crown, you're going to have to hand it off. You're going to have to give it to somebody else. How does that feel? Like, have you come to terms with that, Kyle?
Yeah, hopefully I'm handing it off to someone who wore the same jersey as me in Virginia. Okay. So they kind of got a tough draw. I like it, though, but I'm completely content with handing it over. My run was historic.
It was historic.
As you said, so
it was
I'm
historic.
good.
Yeah, Kyle, we saw that. Do you have the sweatshirt on that you were wearing earlier today? There was a sweatshirt that I saw where you had the UMBC score at one point and said that you had been humbled, and then you had the national championship score. What did you do with it?
No, I am not wearing it.
But I love that.
We have a very long. Thank you. It was my mom's idea. She made it. So
shout out to your mom.
Yeah, we just started selling them, but they're awesome.
Love that.
You mentioned Virginia's tough draw. This stood out to us. You guys got Ohio in the first round. I don't know if you know anything about Ohio, but this kid Jason Preston is unbelievable.
Yeah, I know about him.
He's awesome.
I know.
He's awesome, Kyle. That's going to be a tough one. Creighton is obviously a team that can score a lot of points. UC Santa Barbara is pretty good. Where's your mindset as a Virginia fan? Are you excited for?
Is this a good draw or a bad draw?
Is it fun to watch Virginia games, or is it like, is it not fun because you can't play now? You can't go out there and hit 3 free throws and be like, I got this, guys. I'll take care of it.
It's funny you say that because I texted Ty and Dre after the Syracuse game where Beekman hit the buzzer beater, and I said, I don't like being a fan. Like, this is so stressful, and I can't do anything about it. Like, I can't say how many times I'm like, oh, my God, if I was just out there, I want to be out there, whatever. So, but to answer the other question, this is definitely probably one of the tougher draws. I thought we were going to get a 3 seed because, I mean, maybe I have bad information, but I thought we were 12 in the AP. So I thought we were going to get that, but we didn't, per usual.
Got bad information
just a little
from the
bit.
AP.
Just a little bit,
Bad
they just underrated, right? And so, the Preston kid is good. I haven't watched the team much, but I obviously saw his game when he had 31 against Illinois, and he can go. But at the end of the day, the way we won our championship, the way we've carried ourselves since Tony's been the coach is just you take care of you. So I think if we do that, then we'll be okay.
I love the idea of like Kyle writing checks for the team to not have to cash. Like I love the idea of like Kyle's like, we'll be fine. We got this.
It's Elite Eight. It's Elite Eight for us.
Tony's watching film on Jason Preston. He's like, oh my god. He's like, Kyle. I don't know if you've been watching Virginia. We don't play defense like we did when you were here, man. This is not.
We're only number 10 in Kim
still better
now.
than most. Yeah. Oh my God, UVA loves Kim.
Oh yeah, how could you not? How could you not? Kyle, we have to ask you because we had a segment on our show, of course, good guy, bad guy, Kyle Guy, and we would always talk about you when you were playing college basketball. But we also had a segment called Kyle's Guy, and our producer Kyle would give his guy to watch out for. Is there a guy that you have in this tournament that's not on Virginia? I'll exclude them, but that you see and you say that's really a guy that I like. I want to watch him play. I want to see him make a run, and it would be Kyle's Guy.
Great question.
Can't be Kihei Clark.
No UVA guys, because they're all good guys, and they'd all be my guy. The kid from Ohio. I hate we're playing him because I want to root for him because his story is so incredible. You know.
Yep.
Just how he got to where he is now. He's an NBA draft prospect. He's got his team, trying to make a Cinderella run. Like, how can you not like that? That'd probably be my number one guy.
Wow.
To bring a hometown guy into the picture, CJ Walker, man, he makes Ohio State go, as Mark Titus knows.
Yes,
he makes them go. He'd be my number two.
I like that.
Speaking of, you just invoked that you're from Indiana. You mentioned that. What are we feeling about that? When I say the words, the entire NCAA tournament is going to take place in the great state of Indiana, the only basketball state in this country that matters. I assume the sense of pride washes over you as it did me, Kyle, when you hear those words.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I was thrilled because, one, it's a great host city. It might not be the best city in terms of, LA, Atlanta, Chicago, but, like, in terms of basketball, there's nothing better than this state. The facilities are top notch. They could have done some of these games in high school gyms. Yeah. That's how big those gyms are. They could have, Southport, Newcastle, Seymour, they could have packed those out. But I was super thrilled, super cool. I wish it was not at the same time as NBA so I could enjoy it more, but it's still a unique thing for the city and cool.
And Kyle, you're one of those guys that actually watches college basketball, not the NBA guy that, his team plays another team, one of his teammates and they swap jerseys and take a picture. You actually watch these games. Is there a team that you have, outside of Virginia again, that you like as, maybe even not a national championship team like Gonzaga, but to make a run where you're like, I like those guys. I've seen them play and they're hot and could go on a run.
Yeah, I'll give you two. I'm with Tyrese Halliburton out here, obviously, and he played USA with Cade Cunningham, and we've been talking. I've watched him. The kid's goated already. He can go. So yes. I would hate to bet against him, even if he was playing Gonzaga. I think Gonzaga's probably best pound for pound right now, but I wouldn't even want to bet against him because he's has that, I think he's a bona fide number one pick.
Yep,
so
no doubt.
I think Alabama showed a lot today that they can go far. But then again, I think LSU kind of, I wouldn't want. Michigan plays them next if they both win. I wouldn't want to see that. 8-9. I wouldn't want to see that either. So
speaking of Gonzaga, you never entered a tournament undefeated at Virginia, but you certainly entered a tournament with high expectations. You've been a number one overall seed before, and then obviously you guys lose to UMBC, and you come into the tournament with that pressure. Give us an idea of what that's like to be the team that's being hunted, to be the team, because Gonzaga is obviously we've talked about it's kind of Gonzaga versus the field.
Yep.
It's kind of the mindset everyone seems to have, or at least we do. So if you're putting yourself in Gonzaga's shoes, is that a good thing? You're feeling good? Is there pressure? Do you just block it all off? What do you think's going through their mind?
Seeing as they beat us by 20, I have no choice but to agree with you, as it's probably them versus the field. Yeah. If I was given a motivational speech in front of them, I would tell them, look, and I would use everything that Tony Bennett's taught me. Like nothing that I say would actually be mine, but we'll pretend it is for now. I would tell him to put the blinders on, man. Just like horses at a horse track. You obviously in the forefront, you want to win the national championship, but you got to focus on the day-by-day stuff. So one game at a time. Do not overlook anyone. I think that there's a misconception that we overlooked UMBC, which we did not. If you know Anthony Guy Bennett, he wouldn't let us do that.
Yes.
So, I would make sure that they respect every opponent. They're obviously have one of the most historic runs already, and they want to cap it off the right way. First team since 76 or whatever, if they can do it. So I would throw all those hopes and dreams to the back of my mind and really just focus on one game at a time. And I know that's cliche, but sometimes less is more.
Man,
Kyle,
I felt like I was listening to Tony Guy Bennett.
Yeah,
right
no
there,
kidding. I'll be honest, I kind of zoned out a little bit,
yeah.
but
I want to go play
good.
right now.
It sounded good. You're the man. We appreciate you giving us time, Kyle. We hope whoever takes your crown from you,
yes,
what is worthy, right?
Yeah, we hope that they're worthy. Oh, sorry.
No, thanks, guys.
Appreciate you, Kyle.
I love coming on this show. You guys are my favorite.
Well, come back anytime, Kyle. You're the best. Appreciate you, man. Good luck to the Wahoos.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Man, great times. Kyle Guy.
My bad. I was going to ask him something else, and then I balked at it. I forgot we were live.
We're going to ask him about the whitewater rafting trip?
Yeah,
when he said the thing about the horses with the blinders, I was like, that reminds me of a whitewater rafting trip.
We're about to wrap the show up, obviously, but I had an idea of something to ask him that I thought, well, we could always cut it, right? And then I was like, that's right. We're live right now.
Yeah.
So better not. The unfortunate reality is that if this Michigan State team isn't very good and won't make the tournament, that's not for us? What?
Oh, this is all the.
Oh, this is just Iowa coming up, Purdue, Illinois, Ohio State, Michigan. It's an absolute gauntlet, and the way they've been playing, they're probably going to lose them all.
Now, Michigan State.
What is this?
This is a Michigan State hype video.
The 2021 NCAA Tournament.
Michigan State. I'm
sorry, what?
The streak is alive.
Hold on. You're telling me Michigan State put this?
Yeah, they've hacked into our feed and then played a promo video to let us know that they, all the hype was wrong. They're back. The Sparty's back.
They clipped up us. They dunked on us.
Yeah, exactly.
For their announcement video, and they dunked on us. Well, dude, in that case, that's actually good for the show, isn't it? So I'm gonna give you more sound bites. UCLA is going to smoke Michigan State in the first round in the play-in game.
Yes.
It's exciting that it's exciting that Michigan State made the tournament, but they have no chance. Is that good, you think?
Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, they'll take that. They'll take that.
All right, we're going to wrap it up with this. We talked about a lot of the teams that are in the field, obviously. One team we did not talk about is a team that did not make the field, a team that was snubbed. Wasn't even one of the next four in.
Yeah.
The Belmont Bruins.
The wrong Bruins got in.
Got in. So to understand what went wrong, to get a better sense of this, we are bringing in the biggest Belmont Bruins fan on planet Earth, my father, who was wearing a Belmont quarter zip.
Coach Titus, let's go. Under Armour.
Make the case, Dad. He can't hear us? This is so good. This is so good.
This is even better. It is true. Like, we wanted Coach Titus to be the representative for the snub Belmont team, and it is great.
They have no case, so he can't talk.
He's like, I can't hear you guys. What's the case?
Dad, you can't hear us? Oh well,
it's all good. It looks
we tried. Dad, just show us the quarter zip. He can't hear us.
Well, first of all, guys, I can't really hear you, so having technical difficulties. Tate, I'm not sure where all the love for Purdue's coming from. That doesn't make me real happy.
I'm sorry, Coach. I'm sorry, Coach.
Speaking of not making me happy, you guys did a great job covering this tournament, but there's a team that was left out, the Belmont Bruins. Now, you guys are bright guys. You know how many NCAA teams there are in the country. I think there are 350. Two teams, to my recollection, that to my research, I found on the internet, so I know it's true. Two teams out of those 350 won 26 games. One of those was Baylor. The other was the Belmont Bruins.
Tell them, Coach.
In the world, can you keep them out of the tournament?
Tell them, Coach.
Now, here's the deal. I believe, I'm going to show my Bruin logo. I believe this. I believe any team that wins 25 games ought to be in regardless of what they did in their conference tournament. Back in my day at IU, Lee Corso accused Bob Knight of having a classic that Knight called it, an Indiana Classic, where you invite 3 teams you can beat and call it a classic. Let's get this straight. I think there are, 6 or 7 power conferences in basketball? It's a power conference tournament where they invite a few small schools that they can beat and call it the NCAA Tournament. Let's call it the Power School Classic from here on.
I love this.
St. Mary's is in with 12 wins. Iona's in with 12 wins. Drexel's in with 12 wins. And Belmont can't get in with 26 wins, 18-2 in the conference. 13, I guess. And they can't get in because they lost a championship game. What is going on?
Coach, all great points.
Dad, you can't even hear what we're saying, so we appreciate the monologue. Look at him, he's trying to figure. You're the best, Dad. Thanks for joining us. Dad called me. He called me last night. See, he can't hear
You're the best, Coach.
He called me last night. He's like, where do you think Belmont's going to be seated? And I was like, they're not. And he's like, what? He was incredulous.
Dude, I mean, rightfully so. Rightfully so. I mean,
he couldn't believe it.
Man.
Appreciate everyone watching for the entire stream. If you did, God bless you for hanging on. We are going to be doing tomorrow.
Yes.
Monday.
Yes.
We are going to actually fill out the bracket. We were talking through it. It's not fair to us, honestly, to have to do live bullets.
We have to marinate. It has to marinate.
We have to, give us time to think about it. But tomorrow we're going to be doing a live stream at, I believe, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. We are going to be filling out our brackets tomorrow, and we're going to have a special guest.
It's a joint bracket. Yeah, a special guest. You're right.
We're going to have a special guest.
Wow. Honestly, tonight was beautiful, and anyone that stayed with us, watched this, and all the guests. I mean, we had great guests for this show. I never thought that Josh Pastner would ever sit on Titus and Tate and give us a full rundown of the face shield. That was an honor. Luka Garza, the National Player of the Year, and we have a bracket, Mark Titus. We have a
March
bracket. Madness.
We have arrived. We did it. This is all I needed for now.
Yes,
I mean, I want the games to be played, obviously, but God, just not even have it. I thought about it. The more I thought about it, not having a tournament last year was like, we didn't even get a bracket. Like, if they would have released a bracket last year, I would have just stared at that thing all summer and had so much fun just saying, what if?
Yes.
But we didn't even get that.
Yes.
And now we have it. We have a bracket. And
it's in my face. I'm looking at it. Wow. We're going to make picks tomorrow.
We'll make some picks tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Join us then right here, wherever you're watching it. It'll be there tomorrow. We appreciate it. See you guys.
Titus and Tate. Bang.